What is up, ladies and gentlemen? I am so excited you are here. We're gonna learn together. This is the Tarver Academy Summer Professional Development. We're gonna learn. Learning's happening. It's going down today. We're about to get started. My name is Tyler. I run Tarver Academy. It's an online resource for teachers and students and educators, and it's a great community where people just get involved and learn and get better. And I throw resources to you guys, throw ideas around. It's just a lot of fun. Just a whole lot of fun, Tarver Academy. So if you need anything, I'm here. TarverAcademy.com has a ton of resources and things that you can go to check out. A little bit about me, just so you know, you don't think I'm just like, hey, here's a random YouTuber talking about, videos or whatever. My name's Tyler. I started out teaching high school math, and then I moved into a tech director / facilitator role. Then I was a principal of a school, 6th through 12th grade. 6th through 12th grade. Fun ages. That's good stuff, okay? Good stuff. Never any drama, 6th through 12th grade. No drama. And our school had waivers from the state, so we did a lot of online, we did a lot of blended, we did a lot of in-person learning, all the above. So we get to learn a lot, make some mistakes, do some stuff right, and try to learn from everything we did. Then after that, I went to central office, and I was director of curriculum instruction, and now I'm the dean of NLC College. And I'm so excited to be here, learning and growing with you guys. I'm also giving a little bit of time for people to jump in, get started, and we're about to go through some of the housekeeping stuff. We're gonna do a little check-in right now at the beginning, and then at the end of this video, at the end of this training, we're going to have a chance for you to get a certificate showing that you actually showed up and you did the learning, okay? I think that this training and the other trainings that you are gonna get the chance to be a part of this summer are gonna help you grow as an educator. And if you grow as an educator, all it does is help the students and the community that you live in. And so let's try our best to learn something, take something away from this that we can put in our repertoire and get better with. Okay, so the first thing I need you guys to do is I need us to check in, okay? And this check-in, what it does is it timestamps when you are here so that you might not need this later, but if your administrator or whoever comes back and they're like, how do I know you didn't just click to the end? This shows that you were here at the beginning. So you can scan the QR code that is on the screen if you have your cell phone. And on my phone with me, get your phone out. I'll use my wallet, Atlanta Braves wallet. Film that, you just hold your phone over that QR code that you see on the screen. You'll see something pop up at the top. Click that and it'll take you to where you can fill out that you were here. It's very short, very quick. I'm gonna give you a little bit of time to do that right now. Go ahead, scan the QR code, go to the website, check in, and when you do that, you will get an email. If you do not get an email immediately, this happened, I told you, I was a tech director for a long time, okay? I'd say a long time. I was a tech director long enough to know that if you don't get that email that you're filling out right now, it's because you typed your email address in wrong. That's exactly what happens. 19 times out of 19 and a half times, that's what happens. So go ahead and go to that. Remember, at the end of this session, there's gonna be another QR code that you're gonna scan that is going to give you the certification saying that you actually did the training. Both of these are time-stamped. So if your administrator or whoever's in charge of PD for your district wants to see that and be like, how do I know you did this? You've got your check-in email that is time-stamped by me, not by you. It's into a PDF or it's into that email. And then you will also have the timestamp on your certificate showing that you did this. Okay, so hopefully everybody is getting that done. Okay, giving you a little bit of time. If you have any trouble, just keep trying because I think it's pretty important to get that logged in. Now, while we're doing that, if you're finishing that up, or if you can hear me, what I would love for you to do is I would love for you to hit the red subscribe button. This is my YouTube channel, Tarver Academy. That's what I call it. It's kind of where I got this started. I had this before I had the website, and then I put up the website to put all the resources and all the stuff I was doing. But if you would hit the red subscribe button right now, that would be huge. That would be just super cool of you. And that way, you can hopefully see some of the other trainings that I'm doing, see some videos I do throughout the year to help teachers, to help students, to have fun and learn together. So hit that red subscribe button. Did you do it? Did you? You get the like too, the little thumbs up. That's just YouTube etiquette. You get the thumbs up. It's just really nice to do. So you want to hit the thumbs up button, you can. And I would love to start this. How about this? in the chat, okay? Because if you're watching this on my website, which is where you can watch it, that's fine. You're not gonna see the chat, but if you click and watch this on YouTube, you're gonna see a chat rolling on the side of the screen. Start it off. I want you guys in the chat to say who you are, like give your name, tell us what you teach and where you teach, okay? If you're an administrator, you can say that I'm a principal, or you can say your central office, whatever you do. I've got some people that have signed up for this that are aspiring educators. So this is great to say, I wanna be an educator, I wanna be an English teacher for high school, throw that in there. If you wanna be a kindergarten teacher, toss that in there, say you're in school. It's a great way to network because I think there is an amazing community of educators here wanting to learn and grow together. And I think that it's great if we look out for each other. So throw in the chat, I want you to say your name, what you teach, and where you teach. Throw that in the chat. All right, man, we're doing good. We're doing good. It's our warm up. We're feeling good. We're stretching it out. It's always good to stretch before you stretch. I don't know, I heard some friends say that, so I say it from time to time. Okay, next thing. This is another little thing. I've got one right here. So I've written a couple books. I've done Superheroes Need Sleep Too. This is a children's book. It's like a nap time book, so you don't have to read that. But this one I think is super relevant for you. This is the Baller Teacher Playbook, and in it I have like practical advice. It's 18 chapters. So the idea is that you could do this like once a week with your team for a full semester or every other week for a year and try to improve your teaching every week. I'm not doing this to sell it to you. I'm doing this to say I'm giving some of these away all summer to people that are participating in this. So if you want a chance to win one of these, or I think I probably got some other educator books. If you're like, I don't really want your book, Tyler, I got a ton of educator books. I'll send them to you. All you got to do, follow me on Instagram at Tyler Tarver. Follow me at Tyler Tarver on Instagram, and I'm gonna be giving these out throughout the summer. You might be the person I give it to. So follow me on Instagram, and then throw something in your Instagram story if you want, just to increase your chances of me seeing it. So I'm just gonna be clicking through. I see people follow on Instagram. I'm gonna throw out stuff to them. So random people will get it. You might not, but you won't if you don't. So there we go. Y'all feeling good? Does everybody feel good? Everybody throw in the chat who they are, where they teach, what they teach. Okay, so to explain also what this is, you are watching, this is a live broadcast. So this is going as a YouTube premiere or a full-on live video. So one of the two. Either way, that chat is happening live. Everybody that jumps into this video at any point is gonna be watching it at the same time as you. So it's great to get in the chat and talk, discuss, ask questions, give input. If we ask a question in the video, you can type it in your notes, but you can also type it in the chat. You can copy paste from the chat. It's a great way for you to be a part of this live broadcast, okay? So if you have a Google Notes, if you have a notes document, if you wanna take notes by hand, I've got a template for notes if you want. It sent it to you whenever you filled out your email. It should have been on that page whenever you did your check-in at the beginning. If not, it's on like every PD page. I have my website, tarveracademy.com. Click on PD and you get a free notes template, or you can take notes in your own doc. However you want to do it, take notes, write down stuff that's relevant to you, and copy paste stuff that people put in the chat. There's gonna be people in the chat that are way smarter than me. And so I'd love for you to copy paste that into the notes, and you can take that and make your teaching game elevate. So next thing, while we're getting logged in, people are still jumping in here. They're still jumping in the video, giving you a few minutes to do that. We're also, if you want to watch these videos, because after this ends, it's going to be gone off of here. However, I'm going to be putting all of these trainings, all like 30 something trainings. I think it's over like 120 hours worth of trainings. I'm putting all of that for people that join what I call the Tarver Academy Honor Roll. It's a small group of educators who are trying to get better every week, and I send out weekly emails during the school year to where you're getting templates, you're getting resources, back to school starter kits, you're getting templates for Google Forms, trainings, PDs, tons of stuff every single week delivered to your inbox, and also you have access to all of these trainings. That is available if you go to tarveracademy.com/honor roll if you want to. I think it's a great decision. I think it's a great decision. Nobody's in here. Who am I talking to? I'm not talking to anybody. Okay, y'all feel good? Y'all ready to start? Y'all feel good? This is a little warm up. We'll explain what's going on. Everybody feel good? 1 to 10. Put in the chat how you feel today. Or give me this, how about this? Give me an emoji of how you're feeling today. That'd be better, 1 to 10, or give me an emoji. I'd love to see it. Or just give me a word. You're like, I don't want to do an emoji. Give me a word. How you feeling today? And let's get rolling. Remember, input in the chat, take notes, learn, grow. Welcome to the best professional development that you're gonna do. Not guaranteed, but it's an opinion, but it's also true, but it might be biased, but it's gonna be a great summer. It's gonna be a great training. Hope you guys learn something. Hope this adds you value that you can then bring to your students and make your school, your community, yourself better in some way. Guys, we're about to get started. Y'all excited? Y'all ready? About to do this. Let's get ready to learn and have fun. Tarver Academy. Let's go. Let's go. Hit it. Let's go. Okay, so we're doing a social media creator workshop. Now, here's the deal. I want to walk you through, just like we talked about how long it takes people to sign in and get logged in to different, platforms and get rolling. It takes like 6 to 10 minutes for somebody to get logged into a live stream. That's why we gave so much time at the beginning. Now, I wanted to walk you through some of the other pieces of the process when you are creating, okay? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you how to create a short link for your resources. You should create short links for your resources, okay? Hold on, I'm gonna switch over so you can see the whole tab, because if not, you'll just see the presentation. So hold on one sec, I'm gonna remove that. Hey, what's up? I'm a lot more on your screen. While I'm switching over, in the chat, I would love to start with, what is your favorite social media platform to just not create for, but to watch and just be like, oh, you know what, I need to check out. I'm going to go check Facebook or TikTok or Instagram or YouTube. Put your favorite in the chat. I want to know as I switch over and show you this screen. What is your favorite social media to watch? Put that in the chat. I would love to see it. Love to see it. Okay. So as you're throwing that in there, okay, Alicia's on TikTok. That's dope. I love it. You know what? Speaking of TikTok, I'm actually going to go live on TikTok right now. Live on TikTok. Live. We're going to do this. It is going here. As you're answering, I'm going live on TikTok. Okay. Got to spell creator correctly. Got to spell workshop correctly. Okay. In the chat, what is your favorite social media to use? We're going live here. Okay. So now I'm live on TikTok. Why not? I'm doing this training. It's going on YouTube. It's streaming there. I could have streamed it to Facebook as well. I didn't, but I'm streaming it to YouTube. Why not open up TikTok and go live on TikTok? Again, as we're going to talk about today, you've got to know the platforms. And with TikTok, a lot of people will roll live on TikTok without an agenda. Whereas like an Instagram live or a Facebook live or a YouTube live, it's like you kind of want to have bullet points for what you're wanting to create, what you're wanting to do. Whereas with TikTok, it's like people will just roll on there while they're putting together a shelf from IKEA, or they'll just go on there and they'll just say hi to people as they're saying hello. It's okay to go live on TikTok more frequently than some of the other ones, okay? Ooh, Lisa said Reddit. Okay, that's interesting. I didn't even think of it when I was naming them off. That's a good one. Okay, a lot of TikToks, some Facebooks, some Instagrams. That's kind of what I expected. You don't see a lot of Twitters on here. I know educators are big on Twitter, but it's never like I like Twitter. It has a purpose for me, and like I love like following certain educators, getting resources, things like that. But honestly, I don't go there to like chill unless like I'm watching the Super Bowl. Personally, for me, it's TikTok. So, all right, so let's go in. I'm going to create a short link so you can jump into this presentation in case you want access to it later. So this is what I do every time I'm going to create a short link for any presentation or resource that I make. I'm going to go up to the address bar and I'm going to copy that link. Okay, well, first thing I need to share it so that you guys have access. Okay, so I'm going to go to share. This is important. I literally just shared something. I'm doing a digital educator conference the next 2 days, and I shared the links to the proposals with all of the presenters, and I saw one of them, the wonderful and amazing Stephanie Howell. She jumped in and she's like requesting access. I'm like, okay, turns out I'd only requested access within my organization. So I need to change this. Make sure anyone with the link on the internet can view. Great. That means that once I give this short link, anybody can jump in. Now, in the chat, what is your favorite short link that you use to create short links. Okay. Is it tiny URL? Is it Bitly? Or is it, I think Google quit doing short links. Correct me if I'm wrong. Was it Google? I'll tell you mine. Mine is Bitly. I think Bitly is the best because they have the ability to do free custom short links. Okay. So I go into Bitly. It's bit.ly.com. I'm going to go up here to create, and I'm just going to paste my link to my presentation. Why'd I say that weird? Presentation. Okay. Now they're going to give me a generic one that's like a bunch of letters or whatever and numbers. I can click here and I can change this. We're doing social creator workshop. Let's see if that's taken. Hey, okay, it hasn't been taken. So I'm gonna go up here to copy. Then I'm gonna roll back over into my presentation, and I'm gonna give you guys this short link. So you're able to jump into this presentation if you would like. If you want to make a copy of this, say you want to do this presentation for your team or for anybody at your school, or maybe you want to do it to other social media creators. You can go in and you can make a copy of this, delete my name, and you can use this, guys. Like, you have free reign to use any of my resources however you see fit. Okay. That's just is. It is what it is. I like to produce a ton of free content. Okay. All right. So I'm going to let you guys get that. It's bit.ly/social creator workshop. If anybody comes in later during this time, while we're doing this live stream, if anybody comes in later, if one of you guys could, please reply to them and tell them this link. That would be super helpful. This chat, one of the most valuable things about doing this, because I could have just recorded this by myself with nobody watching and uploaded it and then gone through. The reason that this is valuable is because you guys get to talk in the chat, not just to me, but to each other. That's valuable. Think of that as you're going and you're building building your platform. Don't use that as a negative thing. It's okay to build a social media platform. Okay. It's like, well, it's just like, doing well at your job so that you can get a raise or you can get promoted. That's what you're doing in social media as well. You're building it up so that you can produce either a bunch of free and paid stuff for other people. Never do just paid. I know there's people out there that do that. I would not recommend it. Okay. So, I don't know what I was talking about, so we're going to move on. All right. Excellent. So, if you want 3, this is kind of the stuff I do. I've been creating content on the internet since 2008 is when I started uploading. Actually, 2007, I started uploading to YouTube. And then 2008, I started uploading educational videos to YouTube. And I've been uploading to, oh my goodness, I've used it all. YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Vine, rest in peace. TikTok, Instagram, Clubhouse. I've done pretty much everything. What is one social media platform you used that no longer exists? In the chat, what is a social media platform that you used that no longer exists? Mine's Vine. I kind of went hard into the Vine world trying to build, I want to create this, and this. And there's a ton. Look at the most famous YouTubers. They came out of Vine for real. Like, you got the Paul brothers. You got Dobrik, which again hasn't been making great decisions lately. You've got, who else? There's a ton of others that came out of Vine that rolled it. Geosites, okay, MySpace. Do you guys remember Google? I think it was called Google Plus. I love Google. You guys know I love Google. Google Plus, okay, that was supposed to replace Facebook and now doesn't exist anymore. But that's fine. If you've ever been to any of my Google trainings, I respect Google and I love that they learn from their failures. A lot of MySpaces. I was on MySpace in college too. We were all there. Anybody remember top 8? Who's in your top 8? This slides 4 and 5. These are just resource slides. I put these in every presentation I do that allows people to go in and use resources. So this is kind of where we're gonna keep coming back to this funnel. Okay. We're gonna keep coming back to this funnel. This is what I kind of built this. I know there's other creators that have this. I actually stole the name Content Ecosystem from 2 creators that I really love that you should follow. They're called Colin and Samir. So check out Colin and Samir. They're on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. They're on everything. as you should be if you're creating content. But check them out. They actually have a ton of different, they focus in on creators and how they can help creators. Like, this is geared more towards education creators, but I think that, I think it's super valuable for, anybody that's wanting to create for the internet. So they call it the content ecosystem, but this is kind of my funnel that I've kind of developed from listening to different creators and also just creating for myself. And so what I want to do is today, we are going to talk through the free content first. We're going to talk through free subscriptions and follows. Like, how do we get people? Let me explain all of them, and then we'll go in more in depth and look at them, okay? Free content. That is stuff that you create and you put on Instagram or Facebook or Pinterest. Forgot about Pinterest. Pinterest or TikTok or YouTube. This is free content that you're putting out into the world that anybody can stumble on and find, okay? In the chat, what is your favorite free platform for people to put things out on the internet? When you create, what is your favorite platform to put it out on the internet for? I'll go ahead and tell you mine. My favorite is TikTok by far, because it narrows in. Their algorithm is so good. It narrows in on your community and it helps curate that community for you. I don't spend a ton of time going to find my community on all these platforms. I create a lot of content. I think it's a lot, and you might not. I create a lot of content and put it out there, and I don't have a lot of time to go in and find and curate. And so TikTok kind of curates that for me, which is super, super helpful for me as someone who is more of leaning into the creating content side of things. Okay. Free content, that is putting it out on social media platforms. Okay. Now, the second level, okay, it starts narrowing it in. As you picture this, think of this as I'm creating a ton of free content and free value that is eventually going to lead people into the next section of my funnel, which is the free subscriptions or follows, okay? You want to create good content and provide value for people in a way that they start creating, like they care enough about the content you're creating to hit the red subscribe button underneath a YouTube video, or hit the follow button on TikTok, or hit the like page button on Facebook, or you want them to sign up for an email list, okay? You want to sign up for an email list that you're doing, okay? Okay. Here, I want this to be very conversational. So if I see a comment that can lead to a conversation, I'm going to talk about it. So Alicia, I'm about to ask you to say some more stuff. Alicia said she likes TikTok. She doesn't make a ton of content. Wakelet is easily becoming a favorite, okay? I want to know in the chat, how are you using Wakelet? Are you using it as a landing place for your content? So like you create a resource or a template and you put it on Wakelet. And question, is Wakelet, I need to look up Wakelet. Did it used to be Padlet? Let me look. I'm looking up Wakelet. Sorry. Like I said, this is a workshop. This is not me. I don't want to talk the whole time. I will talk a lot because it's me presenting, but I would prefer you guys guide the conversation. Let's look at Wakelet. What is Wakelet? Save, organize. I'm pretty sure Wakelet used to be Padlet. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong. Your internet organized. Okay, it looks like it. I bet it is. Okay, so Wakelet is great. Padlet and Wakelet are separate. Okay, I'm sorry. Thank you, Alicia, for clarifying. Either way, it looks very similar. It looks like a place for you to organize your resources across the internet. So this, while they probably have a find feature or a follow feature, it's not one of your main ones. So whenever you create for Wakelet, it's going to be kind of it's like your website. It's your landing page for where people can go and find different things. All right. So what I would recommend is, you said you don't create a lot of content for TikTok. I would recommend you start creating content for TikTok and Instagram and YouTube and Facebook and Pinterest. Start creating it there, which funnels people into this area, okay? That's where you want them to go. So whenever you create a resource and you put it on Wakelet, you can go in and make, hey, what's up, guys? Welcome up TikTok. My name's Tyler, and today I'm going to show you this new resource that I just made that you can use and have for free. Boom. Okay. So you've got your free content. You're putting stuff out there, hoping everybody can see it. Now, after that, you want to lead into free subscriptions and follows. This doesn't cost anybody anything, but people are picky with who they follow and who they like. Okay. So like at the beginning of this whole thing, I asked you to hit the red subscribe button on this YouTube channel. If this was the only video I had on this YouTube channel, there's not a big reason for you to go follow. You're like, okay, cool. The dude did one live stream and I'm supposed to follow this or like subscribe to this YouTube channel. The idea is that you consistently produce that content over a long period of time. So you stay consistent. We're going to talk about consistency later. As you stay consistent in these different realms of social media, whenever you do have a piece of free content, top level, you have that roll across somebody's face on their For You page, or it just rolls up, or someone shares it and I see it on Facebook because someone else shared it. Whenever I see that and I click on it, I'm going to go look at your account. If your content interests me enough to where I'm like, who is this person? Or I wonder if they have more stuff like this. That's what you want them to think from your top level, to the point that they click and they go to your profile. Now, on your profile, it needs to describe what you do. You don't want to be like, on your profile, you don't want to be like cute or like, oh, you know, living free since 93. Like, you don't want to be like, I don't know, relating to something they don't know about. So like, for instance, I'll show you. So let's look at my TikTok. TikTok, whenever someone goes, if they see my TikTok roll in front of their face and they're like, oh, who is this dude? They're going to click and go to my profile. I want them to know from right here what I offer. Sorry, my dog just yawned. I didn't want you to think I tooted. Okay. Whenever someone clicks and goes to my profile, I want to describe what I offer people in the profile. So right here, number 1 says, I want to help teachers. So if somebody clicks on it and they, I don't know, they're an engineer and they see one of my TikToks and they click here, this is not really for them. They're not going to be like, oh, wow, this is something that, you know, I want to subscribe to. They're probably not going to follow me, but that's not my audience. I'm gearing what I'm doing towards educators. So I say I want to help teachers, not like I am a teacher. They're hopefully assuming that because it's true, but they see that my role, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to add value to educators so that they can take that and add value to their students. Okay. Then my next line is ex-principal and dean. Like I've been a teacher, I've been a principal. I've actually been in public education. I was at central office. I was like an assistant superintendent. I just didn't have the title. I was director of curriculum instruction. I don't put that in there. 1, it's a lot longer. And 2, I've noticed that people don't really, like, they don't understand terminology. Like assistant superintendent is the same as director of curriculum instruction for the most part, which is the same as, deputy superintendent or head of academic affairs. Like those are similar titles. Thank you, Deidre Kane. You said I was good at it. I really appreciate that. I think you're wonderful. Just so you know, I think you're wonderful. I mean that. If I didn't, I wouldn't have said it. I would just moved on. So thank you for saying that. So that role where I got the chance to help and oversee principals and teachers, I'm not going to put that in the description here because I know people outside of, like, everybody knows what a school principal is. Okay, everybody, even if they're not in education, they know it is. Even people in education aren't familiar with the terms like director of technology, director of curriculum instruction. So as you are putting stuff in there, you want to describe things. You want to describe things from the perspective of someone coming to your page who might not have the context you have for what you've done. Okay. And then I just put taco enthusiast because I do love tacos. I think they're great. Favorite in the chat. What is your favorite taco place to go to? I'll tell you my favorite taco place in Little Rock. It's a place called The Fold. They have like motorcycles hanging from the ceilings. They took this old gas station, turned it into a taco place. So boom, that's a conversation starter. Okay, I'm appealing hopefully to an even wider audience when I talk about that because everybody likes food, and hopefully if you're a good person, you like tacos because they're the greatest food ever invented. Then I'm going to say free resources. So look at this. From here, I'm telling them what I do, giving them some context for like what I've, about, showing a little bit of my personality. Then, which I say something like not a Horcrux, which is a Harry Potter reference. I think I'm actually going to change it back. Actually say probably not a Horcrux. I'm actually going to change that. I want to change it right now. That's really it's bothering me now. Nope, not going to change it. Not going to take up your time changing it. Then here, look at this. At the bottom of that, I say free resources, and I've got like an arrow pointing down to my link. Now, that TikTok is my blue, my free content. That arrow is pushing them into free subscriptions. It's pushing them into more. I'm trying to shove people into, and that sounds rude. That's a rude word. Don't say shove. I'm trying to funnel people into more resources that I offer them. So you're going to go from free content into free subscriptions and follows. Austin had a good question. Okay. Austin said, what are the best platforms to start creating content? Okay. Great question. It depends on if you already have. Okay, let's start with this. Think of this before you create. You're like, okay, I need to lean into this social media platform. The answer is all of them. Okay, you need to lean into all of them, but I'm going to give you some context for which ones you want to lean into. Okay, one, your audience. Who is your audience? My audience, for the most part, are educators, teachers. Okay, a lot of teachers aren't just hanging out and chilling on YouTube. They'll go to YouTube to get videos to teach, but they're not like, that's not their community. That's not where they go find community. A lot of teachers find community in Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok, okay? Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok. I've been on Facebook for a long time. I have not been successful at curating like a page that gets a lot of conversation and a lot of people coming back. And honestly, I think it's because I've gone long spans of time where I've gotten busy and I've not created content. I've not curated that community well, okay? So I don't lean in there. Twitter, I've not curated that community well either, okay? It doesn't have a lot of conversation because what Twitter has become for me is it is where my resources and content I create kind of just gets thrown to. So like if I upload a YouTube video, it auto posts a link to that YouTube video to my Twitter. I don't go to Twitter and give my thoughts or react to things. It's not my first location. And I think that audience knows that. So for me, Facebook and Twitter would have been great avenues for me to build an audience, and I didn't do that there, okay? I think I've got like 5,000 people on my Facebook page, and then I've got, I think 12,000 on my Twitter page, which honestly, if I'm being real with you guys, those numbers, I say skewed, those numbers are not as accurate as like my TikTok numbers, okay? So I started my TikTok last summer, so almost a year ago, I started like pushing on TikTok. I think it was like August. July or August, something like that. I can't remember. Last summer, I started pushing stuff on TikTok and it started getting some traction. It's because I actually invested in that community and I tried to provide content for that community so that people would see that value and they would subscribe or follow. My Facebook, I have like 5,000 or so people on my Facebook page. Well, I got 2,000 or so of those people because I had a Facebook page I started in college. And then about, I don't know, 8 or 9 years ago, I took that profile and I converted it into a page. So what it did was all of the people who are my friends at that time got turned into page friends or followers or whatever. And I started a new profile. It's because I'd accepted pretty much everybody. And I think I'd maxed out stuff because I'd accepted pretty much anybody who asked since college. And so I converted it. So about half of my Facebook people, they didn't choose to follow my, fan account or page. It was just put there because of it got converted. Now, sorry, I'm always checking to make sure I'm still live. With Twitter, I've got 12,000 followers. Honestly, that's skewed, and that's even in a more negative way. I say it's more negative. With Twitter, what I used to do was I would do a thing where I would follow people, like anybody, and like I'd follow them, and they call it churning is what it's called. I didn't do it the negative way. There's a negative way to do churning, which I guess I did over time, but not at first. So what churning is with social media is whenever you go in and you follow like 300 people, and then whenever after like a month, you unfollow those 300 people. And so out of following 300 people, probably 40, 50 of them might follow you back. It's a great way to get followers. And then you're cutting out the 250 that didn't follow you back. And then a lot of people that do is they'll cut out the people like, I'm going to stop following you. I'm going to get your follow. And then I'll do that. I actually had a dude out of Ohio do that to me. I caught it. Like I saw it and I knew who he was because I had some friends who like had been around him. And I was like, oh, cool. He's following me. I followed him back. And then like a month later, I went to go look at like something that I heard he posted. And I noticed he wasn't following me anymore. He churned me. He got me, followed me. I went, fell right into his trap. Boom. So what I used to do on Twitter was I was kind of like that. I would follow like 300 people. And then, 50 to 60 of them would follow back. And then I would unfollow the people that didn't follow me. So I would like follow them for like a week. And then I was like, you know what? These people don't care about my content. I don't care about their content. So I wouldn't follow them. Okay. And I would keep following those people that followed me. I did that for a while and I got, some Twitter followers. then something happened several years ago where like all the people I was following got cleared out, or I don't think I cleared it out. I may have. I'm sorry if I did, but it cleared it out. So I've been trying to follow people back since then. So pretty much anytime I see an educator follow me on Twitter, I follow them back. Okay, if I don't, it's because I made a mistake. Anytime they're an educator, boom, I'm going to follow them. And because that's the world I'm leaning in on Twitter, and also the people I want to learn from. Okay. Again, I'm not putting any effort and energy into those communities, and those people know it. So it's not like it's popping for me. Now, TikTok, I am putting a lot more emphasis, and I'm pushing a lot more into like that community. I reply to as many comments as I can. I'm trying my best to, create consistent content for that platform. And it's like, that's the platform I think of when I create content. I don't think of my YouTube audience. I don't think of my Facebook audience or my Twitter audience. When I create content, my first audience I think of are my TikTok followers for the most part when I create free content. So my content reflects that. So if you go look, okay, let's do this. So I'm just going to show you, we'll get into that other stuff now. I want to talk about free content. Is that okay with you guys? So here we go. So right here, oh, cool. I had a post I did like last night at like 1 that popped off, got like 100,000. What's up? I didn't really do anything. I took a screenshot from something I put on Instagram stories, and I put it in there and found like an audio that goes with it. So like, let's see. I don't know if you're gonna be able to hear it. The audio's off.
See, when I read that, everything is true.
Okay. So that was a pretty easy one. Oh, wow. They just changed their algorithm, so it rolls into the next one. So what I did was I took a quote that I liked that I posted on my Instagram stories, and then I put it in a TikTok. Now, this is how I know if I think, so here, hold on, let me take it away. This can be a learning experience. I'll show you kind of how I did it. Sometimes I use my Instagram stories to curate information to know if it resonates with people. So like this quote right here, that quote resonated with me. So I just reposted my Instagram story. Okay. I do this quite often. If I see something in my feed, I'm like, I like that, or I agree with that, I'll repost to my Instagram story, because Instagram stories are temporary. It's not a permanent thing. It's not like I'm committing to it being in my Instagram museum. So I'll repost to my Instagram stories. Now, I had probably 6 or 7 people, teachers, reply, like direct message reply to this. And so I thought to myself, this is how I curate good content. I'm like, okay, this resonated with me. Apparently it resonates with other educators. So I went in, I screenshot it, put it into TikTok. And then all I did was I found an audio that I could overlap. That is a normal, that lip syncing audio thing is normal for TikTok. It's normal for TikTok. Okay. So I leaned into that audience. Had this been, Twitter, I probably would have just posted the photo or retweeted this because it looks like a tweet, retweeted it and given a comment like, I agree with this. If it was for Instagram and I wanted to put it in my feed, I would have probably put like a border around it and stuck this on there and just said in the caption, I agree with it. But since it's TikTok, I can take it, I can put it in like with a green screen effect, and then I can attach that to an audio that shows my opinion of it. So that audience knows it was made for them. So the TikTok audience knows I leaned into the TikTok audience here. Okay. You want the best indicator of this? There are people that are really popular on Instagram. They're Instagram influencers. They got 100,000 people there. They'll take like a highly edited, very clean video. They'll take that and they'll repost it into TikTok, and it tanks. It doesn't do well. It's because that audience knows this is not native for our platform. This feels weird for us. I've done that. Like I took this highly edited video I did for, I think it was a series from YouTube. It was called Ratchet. Oh my goodness. What is it? Classic Bougie Ratchet. It's where I name things in education, and then you would pick, is that classic, is that bougie, or is that ratchet? And it was a highly edited video. I thought it was fun. I edited like the sizing, put it on TikTok. Nobody cared. You know why? Because it was not natural to that audience. And I think that's one of the big reasons it did not do well there. So when you're creating, think of your main audience. If I'm picking one platform, to answer your question, Austin, if I'm picking one platform to lean into, I'm picking TikTok, hands down. Now, In my training this morning, I talked about different platforms, and there were a lot of teachers that were nervous about TikTok, and here's why. TikTok's reputation with a lot, especially like, the older generation, Gen X and the boomer generation. One of the things that you've seen with that generation's, the narrative they found about TikTok is that it's just a bunch of teenagers dancing or young 20-year-olds dancing the whole time. Like, that's what they think. Here's the deal. I never see dancing videos ever. Like, maybe one out of 1,000 TikToks, I'll see a dance video. Here's the reason. Because that's not what I want to watch on TikTok. The reason I recommend TikTok as one of the best especially if you're getting started, the best places to start this funnel. Let me show you the funnel again. One of the best ones for the blue is TikTok. And here's the reason why. TikTok is the only, I say that you are so much more likely to have something pop off and go viral on TikTok than any other platform. I have close to 2,000 videos on YouTube I've put up over 12 years. I have had maybe genuinely go viral. I've had maybe 2 go viral that I didn't push people there. Okay. I had 2 that did really well just because they were about Tosh.0, which is a TV show from 10 years ago. I had some clips on Tosh.0. They weren't putting their Tosh.0 clips on YouTube. So if you search Tosh.0 on YouTube, I had the 2nd and 7th most popular videos on the platforms. So that helps as well. But they didn't go viral because of the video. I've never had a video really genuinely pop off and go viral. Maybe 2, like my slope video or something like that. TikTok, literally if you post 20 times, you'll probably have something go viral if it's narrowed to that audience. So if you're picking one place to create content, I would do TikTok because you have a better chance of your content finding the appropriate audience. I put a ton of stuff on YouTube and Instagram that helps teachers. Most teachers won't naturally see it because their algorithms don't work as well as TikTok. So great question. If you guys have any questions or thoughts, throw it in the chat. I want to answer questions. So if I'm picking one, I'm going to say that. Then from there, okay, let's do this. I'm sorry. I keep thinking of how I want to do this, and I want to stay here in this blue area. This is my process. I want to show you my process for creating and then distributing it to the other platforms, okay? So I've said before, you want things to be native to the platforms that they're on, okay? So when I'm creating content, I should make it native to TikTok, to Instagram, to Twitter, to YouTube, and to Facebook. Those are kind of the big 5. And on Pinterest, big 6. I should make it natural to those. I don't have the time to make 6 different versions of a piece of content for all those audiences. So this is my I say workflow. This is how I create the content and push it out to all of my audiences. Okay. So what I do is I created originally in TikTok. I'll go in, I'll record the TikTok, and then I'll post it. I'll make sure I get my hashtags right. Hashtag teachers of TikTok, TikTok teachers. Sometimes I'll throw in a hashtag principles of TikTok. That helps me find my community, or helps my content find the right community, and it will be blasted out. Okay. Sometimes it does well, like this one. Sometimes it doesn't. Like right here, the past 3, I had 1,300, 500, and 700. Okay. Am I upset about this? No. I spent so many years with 10 people or less seeing my content. I'm fine with this. I'm not going to get prideful on it. There's a little less than 5,000. We had a 12,000. Here's a 55,000, 52,000. So it's hit or miss, but for the most part, the content's doing well enough there that I can rely on at least a few hundred people to get a chance to see the content. Okay. So I posted to TikTok first. Then what I do is I open up my Instagram app. I go into Instagram, and I'm not doing this through desktop. I'm doing it through my phone. It's just you can't see my phone that well. So I will go in. I'll go to, here we go. I'll take that TikTok, and 9 times out of 10, I'm going to post that exact same content over in Instagram. So I'll take that video, which I've already done. I actually go in and I'll copy the caption so that I don't have to retype it. That gets on my nerves. So I won't have to retype the caption. Okay. So I'll copy the caption from TikTok, hit post, open up Instagram. I'll go in and I'll upload the video to Instagram. Might change the caption, might leave it the same. And then I hit the appropriate hashtags. With TikTok, the norm is you want to hit about 4 hashtags to be good. So you want to do about 4 hashtags on TikTok. With Instagram, you want to do 30. Okay. So Instagram maxes out for you at 30 hashtags. Okay. So I'll go in and I want to do about 10 that are like wide. So like hashtag teachers of Instagram, hashtag YouTube. I'll do very broad for about 10 of them. Okay. That get, millions of views. Then I want to do about 10 that are middle range. So like 20 to 100,000 hashtag views. So like EDU meme is probably a little smaller. Google Educator's smaller. These are smaller ones that I want to hit. And then I want to do 10 very specific hashtags. So I want to do like Google ET. That's educational trainers, I think is what it stands for. I don't even know. I'm never good with that. Google Innovator, very narrow. It's probably got a couple hundred. You've got, let's see, Google Certificate. You want to go into those very narrow ones where if anybody searches that, they're going to see your content. Okay. The other 2 are chances for viral content that could pop off. Also, let's do this. Can we normalize liking our own posts? If we did not like them, we wouldn't post them. Like your own posts, okay? I usually just recommend don't be the first one to like it because it looks sad. All right, you want to wait till at least 3 or 4 people like it, then you go in and like it. Okay, so I'm going to post to TikTok. That saves automatically to my camera, to my phone. Then I'm going to go into Instagram. I'm going to paste the caption. I'm going to post my new hashtags, and I'm going to upload that video to Instagram as well. Now, I don't do this every time, but 60% of the time, it works every time. In the chat, do you know what movie that's from? 60% of the time, it works every time. Then what I'll do a lot of times, if it's like a tutorial or a quick tip video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in and I'm going to upload it to YouTube as well. Because YouTube, have you guys noticed in the chat, trivia question, you got about 5 seconds, or you got 10 seconds. In the chat, YouTube just rolled something out to compete with TikTok. Does anyone in the chat know the name of what they rolled out? In the chat, I'm giving you a few seconds, drink some of my coffee, stretch my back. What is YouTube's answer to TikTok? Tell me in the chat. Anybody? They just rolled it out. It is called YouTube Shorts, SHORTS. So YouTube just rolled out YouTube Shorts, which is essentially 1 minute or less videos that go into a different side of YouTube that starts flowing. Courtney, you said Reels. That is Instagram's version of it. Also, I just need to throw this out there. I don't know if anybody here works for Instagram. My main account, my Tyler Tarver on Instagram account, I cannot do Reels. I can't watch Reels and I can't post Reels. Please open up access. I've Googled it. I've tried to find it. Fix it. Okay. Don't know why that's there. All my other accounts that I'm on, I can get Reels. Can't do it on my main account. I think they're mad because I love TikTok so much. So you got TikTok, which is, you scroll up and it goes. Now Instagram, they got Reels, which is them incorporating TikTok in there. And then you've got YouTube, which started Shorts, YouTube Shorts. That's correct, Alicia. Good job. 10 points to Gryffindor. YouTube Shorts. They are rolling it in there. Now, did you see this? Have y'all seen this? Netflix is doing the same thing. It's called Netflix. I can't remember what it's called. But Netflix has started doing it as well. And what it is that they're taking like 3 minute or less clips from their like shows and movies and stand up, and they're putting it into like a TikTok side of Netflix. People always talk about like, well, what's the next big social media? What's going to be the next blah, blah, blah. I don't think the ones that are out like Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and YouTube, they're not going to go away. Like it's going to be decades before they go away. MySpace isn't really even gone completely. I think what we're going to see from now on is what we just talked about. And that is that different different social media platforms are going to start stealing features from the other platforms. So instead of it being like, well, I'm going to go to Snapchat to go to Snapchat stories and watch 24-hour videos. Instagram is going to be like, you won't, because Instagram tried to buy, or Facebook, they tried to buy Snapchat. Facebook owns Instagram. They tried to buy Snapchat. Snapchat said no. So then Facebook was like, all right, cool. We're just going to put all your features directly into Instagram as well. And they did. And guess what? I used to make a video every day for Snapchat as I was driving to school when I was a principal. And guess what? I don't ever get on Snapchat anymore. I just use Instagram stories. YouTube took TikTok, put it into shorts. Instagram took TikTok, put it into reels. Every social media platform is not going to be specific. Very few are going to be specific. Most of them are going to try to grab features that the other ones have. If you want to go live, you can go live on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. You can go live on, used to be Periscope, rest in peace. Anybody remember Periscope? Y'all remember that? You could go live on Twitter. I think I already said that. You can go live on all these because they're adding that feature. They're all going to start trying to take each other's features that they have. That's going to be the future of all these social medias. Okay. So, back to it. Free content. I'm going to make it for TikTok. That's the account I care about the most. I'm going to put that onto Instagram. I might upload that onto Twitter as a video and give a little caption. I'm going to upload it into YouTube as a YouTube short. That's going to do it. A fun fact, when you're creating tools for different platforms, these companies, when they roll out a new feature, like when Instagram rolls out Reels, they are going to push Reels really hard because they want it to succeed. They want it to take off. And so they're going to push it. YouTube just started YouTube Shorts. Upload YouTube Shorts because they're going to push that. They want to push these features that they're adding into all of their platforms. Okay. We're going to do a break here in like 5 minutes so that I can take my dog out because I saw her sitting by the door and I don't want her to use the restroom in my house. So we'll do that. But let's see. If I go to YouTube, I wonder if I can see shorts directly from here. No, I don't see. I figured they would have like an area. Here's YouTube TV. They're going to push that because they want you to buy YouTube, which I do. Is anybody in the chat? Does anybody buy YouTube TV? If not, what are you? DirecTV, Dish? Okay. YouTube Music, underrated attention on, hope none of these are inappropriate. Sorry, I'm just rolling by. Okay. I don't see it. I thought they would push shorts on here, but I don't see it on here. If you go to your phone though, and you've got the latest update, you're going to see that there is a shorts button at the bottom of your phone. Okay. Awesome. Started YouTube TV. I'm not telling you should do this, but if you want, start a YouTube TV, share it with a couple, you get like 5 for your family package, share it with a couple of your friends, have them pay you every month. I'm not saying I do that. I would never do that, and you shouldn't do that, but you could. Okay. All right. YouTube TV is by far the best, by the way. You can do unlimited DVR. And who does video the best on the internet? YouTube does. Just do it. I don't work for YouTube. They pay me a little bit from AdSense, but you can go do that. Hey, Amanda Rawls, what's up? Good to see you. How you living? Okay. So we talked about, we go from TikTok. Then from there, that saves to my phone. I'm going to upload that to Instagram. I'm going to upload that to Twitter. I'm going to upload that to YouTube. And you're like, Tyler, what about Facebook? I have mine connected to where whenever I upload to Instagram, it automatically uploads to Facebook. So I don't have to worry about Facebook. It's automatically going there from my Instagram. Okay. So that's where I go to throw out, like, that's the widest part of my net for free content is I want to go out and I want to create that and put it out on these different locations. Now, oh, that's a loud truck. I don't know if you can hear that. So we're going to take a break. And when we come back, I'm going to give you some tips for when you're creating that free content. And then we're going to go into the next part of the funnel. Okay. So we're going to do like a 5-minute break. Let me create a slide. So if anybody rolls up here, they have a slide for it. And I'll just say 5-minute break so that I can take my dog out to use the restroom. Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back. Hey, it's Tyler here. I'm just going to give you a little break. So if you need to go do something, you need to go use the restroom, get a snack, get something to eat, whatever, you can go do that. I was going to chat with you about some stuff. give you some time to do that and check in, maybe say hi. If you want in the chat, let's do a little check-in. In the chat, how you feeling? Toss in your emoji of how you feeling right now. Let's do a little emoji checkup, if you will. So while you're doing that, I do want to give, you know what? I spent a lot of time writing this book, and I genuinely think this book is going to help you in your classroom. It's gonna inspire you more than anything. It's a read with me, and one of the things that I feel like I've never been the smartest dude in the room. I've never been, the most talented, but I'll say this, I was always been pretty approachable, I think. I've been approachable, and I think what this is, I've tried to be as relatable as possible. I'm talking about my experiences, things I've run into in the classroom, what I've learned as a teacher and as an administrator and as a student, what I learned. And so this is the Baller Teacher Playbook. If you're interested in checking this out, I recommend, of course I recommend, it's my book. It's not the best book on education, but I think it's good enough to help you in some way. It's got a lot of practical experience in it. I've got quotes. That's a do you boo-boo. I could have picked a better chapter. Here's one thing. I want to show you one thing that I did at the end of each chapter, because I know teachers. Okay, I put in practical application, I put in reflection, because we know reflection is important, even though we never have time to do it. But it's got spots for you to write that in, so this is something you can work on by yourself or with your team. But here's the part that I did, and this is legit just for teachers. I don't know if you can see that. I put in, at the end of each chapter, I have a section called TLDR. That's internet talk for too long, didn't read. So what that means is, let's say you've got a team meeting, okay? Because there's 18 chapters in here. That means you and your team, or you and your building, you can go through a chapter once a week. You meet on your planning period and spend 10 minutes talking about what you did, what you tried, what worked, what didn't work, stuff to help improve your class and improve your students. Every week you can do that. Have you ever done this? In the chat, be honest, you ready? Have you ever had a team meeting where you're supposed to read something and you're walking over to the meeting and you're like, oh no, I forgot to read the thing I was supposed to read that we're gonna discuss for like 15 minutes. So you just try to chill and hopefully don't get called on or get called out for not reading it. At the end of each chapter, I have a section called TLDR, where in 2 to 5 bullet points, I summarize the chapter. So you could be walking to the meeting, you could read these 3 or 4 bullet points and be able to have a conversation about the entire chapter. There's stories in here, there's practical experience, there's ways that I messed up, ways that I failed, and then ways that I feel like I succeeded, and I'm just talking through what I learned from both of those. And I would love for you to learn and grow with me. So if you want to check out that book, it's on Amazon. I'll have a link on the screen if you want to get it. Link is in my bio. I link links everywhere to it. So Baller Teacher Playbook. I think it can help you in your classroom. Okay, we're about to get started. Kick back into it. Hopefully you're ready to roll, ready to go. And let's jump back in. Let's jump back in like Michael Phelps, okay? Well, does that work? Does that work? I mean, he jumps into the pool. That's what I was going for. I need to know more like high diver. High divers would have been better. I'll tell you this, we're gonna stick the landing like Carrie Strug. Y'all remember her? Carrie Strug, remember the Olympics? Georgia Olympics? Atlanta Olympics? You remember that? It's okay. It's a very narrow reference. All right, let's get started. Let's kick it off. Let's jump back in. Get your notes out. Get your screens pulled up. Get your coffee ready. Get your ice water, your sweet tea. If you're from Arkansas like me, you know you like that sweet tea. And we're about to kick it off. Here we go. Let's get back in. Let's get back in. I'll see you guys. What up? Welcome back. Okay, thank you guys for allowing me to take my dog out to use the restroom, and also refill my coffee. And also, I forgot to eat lunch today. Why did I do that? Why did I even do that? How are you guys doing? In the chat, on a scale of 1 to 10, what platform do you feel like you want to start leaning into? I know I push TikTok hard, but you might not feel comfortable with that, which is totally fine. What platform do you feel like you want to jump into? So I'm a little late due to connectivity, so this is probably already addressed. But with TikTok, okay. Okay, great. Great question, Marlene. We're going to answer that. Okay, I have not addressed this. So this is an excellent question. You guys keep the questions coming if you think of them in the chat. So Marlene said, I hopped on a little late due to connectivity. This is probably already addressed. With TikTok, do you recommend creating a separate professional account? Okay. So great question. And there's no wrong answer. It's whatever you feel comfortable with. Here's what I recommend. We live in a different world because we're educators. Yes, I think educators should have the chance to, you know, be themselves and show their personality. But if it leans too far one way, like if you go too far as an educator or you follow certain accounts or you have certain interests, that can impact your job. So always keep that in mind, okay? I don't think anybody would do that here, but throwing that out. All right. Now, with this, I personally recommend you have one account, and it's you. You're the feature of that account, unless you're like, you know what, I don't like if you post a lot about like, hey, it's my family and this is me hanging out, I do hiking or this or that. You can keep that separate to where it's like, that's me. And then you're like Mr. Tarver's class. And that becomes your TikTok for, you know, just education stuff. You can do that. I don't. I recommend you put them together. And here's the reason why. I recommend that because I think it's very important that you show your personality and your interests whenever you're doing it. One of the best TikTokers, he's a teacher. I think he's out of New Jersey. I guess, oh, I'm sorry, I pronounced that wrong. New Jersey. Isn't that how you say New Jersey? I don't know. I'm not good at accents. So his name's Jay Salazar, and Jay is a teacher, and he posts a lot about, you know, education and teaching and things like that. And so I'd say probably about a third of his content is about education, maybe even, you know, 40 to 50%. The rest is like, he likes the, you know, Alexander Hamilton. So he was posting a ton of stuff about Hamilton. He's starting a journey like where he's doing like a lot of health stuff. And so he started that series. I know more about Jay as a person than I do some other teacher TikTokers that I follow. I'm still got a 5-minute break. We're going to take that off. I know more about him, and I feel like more connected to him as like a person when I did an interview with him for the TikTok teacher conference happening next week. I did an interview with him, and I felt like I knew him more than maybe some others because he shows a ton of his personality and interests on there. So I was constantly like, you know, referencing TikTok, or not TikTok, of course, it was a TikTok teacher conference. I was referencing Hamilton with him because I like Hamilton as well. And so I'm chatting about it. I like combining them as long as you know that some of your audience is going to be there for one thing as opposed to the other. Now, if you're like 90%, hey, this is, you know, family stuff or, you know, sports stuff or whatever it is, just know that's going to be the audience that you're going to start attracting is that type of audience. And if you're only like 10% teacher stuff, you're not going to be geared towards teachers. My Instagram used to literally only be pictures of my kids. Like that's all I would post, picture of my kids. Like that's anything I'm going to post on Instagram. Never put a picture of myself, nothing. And then I started doing like TikTok and stuff, and I started leaning more into the education and creating resources and trainings and stuff for teachers. So I changed my Instagram around, and now if you go to my Instagram, I look super conceited because I got a bunch of videos of me, but then again, I can't afford to hire somebody to put content on my page. Plus my page says Tyler Tarver, so it's normal. I'll be honest, that took a long time for me to get over, was posting multiple times with either myself on video or photo, which I don't post a ton of photos of just me like, hey, what's up? I'm at the beach. I don't do that. I'll put them like me and somebody else because I don't know. I just don't do a lot of that. And it describes me as a person more. Like my goal, even though it might not come across that way because I'm always like, look at what I got, or look at this resource, blah, blah, blah. My goal is always to help other people. And so help other educators or students or whoever. And so whenever I post a picture, it's usually me with someone else because I want to brag about them or talk about something we created together. But with video, it's a little bit harder. It's like, you can't really just get a lot of video content with other people because they're not around. Every now and then my kid will come and like climb on my chair and like hang over my shoulder, but that's about it. So great question. I put them together, show your personality. But just know that whatever audience you're attracting based on what you're posting most of. Okay. So great. All right. So let's go in. We're talking about content, the free content. So producing for the internet. You're talking about, again, all your main social medias. That's the top level, the blue one, free content. You're putting it out there, you're adding value or entertaining. There's only two reasons anybody watches anything on the internet. Either for education or for entertainment. They want to learn something or learn about something, or they want to be entertained. Everything you do should be those two. If you're going in and giving like, you know, here's a recap of my day. Why do they care? Like, why would somebody care about like what you were doing unless you were educating or entertaining them? So keep that in mind when you're creating free content or any content. Now, the like reddish one, the free subscription follows. If you post enough of this and show that you're going to add enough people value, or that you market to that audience and they want to keep seeing stuff like you have, roll into the free subscription and follows. That's hitting the follow, hitting the like, hitting the page follow, whatever it is, or joining your email list. So I have an email list. I do mine through Squarespace. I used to use MailChimp. Does anybody in here use, in the chat, what email service do you use if you have an email service? So I use Squarespace now for my email, and then I use something called Community for text. So like if you want an example of what that looks like, so you could go, let me see. You could roll in if you want to see what it looks, and you can unsubscribe. It shows you how to if you don't want. But if you text teacher to this number, it's gonna be a text. Just go in your text message, text teacher. What it's gonna do is you're gonna be asked to like give your name and location, not exact location, that's creepy, but like name, the state you live in, gender, and I think something else. Boom, like 3 or 4 things that hopefully you know the answer to. And then boom, it's going to send you like some links and resources. Then whenever I want to connect or communicate or share something with that audience, I can just go into the community app and I can send it out. So like, I don't send a ton on there. Like when I make a new resource, a lot of times I'll send it out and say, hey, here's a new resource if you want it. I've been a little more active. Like I was like like 1 text a month at most. Now I've been doing about 1 a week because I'm doing these, 6 hours of training every weekday in June, July, and August. And so I send out a text every like Monday morning at 9 a.m. Central that goes out and it says, hey, here's, week 2, here are all the trainings we're doing. And it like tells Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and what trainings they can go to. So you can also build these out into communities. If this is something you guys are interested in, I can show you more on that. But if you want to see what it looks like there, and I think community is now open to like anybody, like you can jump in and do this. Ellis says, I use Remind for that function. It's very similar. You can get people onto your Remind. I ended up going with this one because it's more affordable if you have like large numbers. I don't have large numbers, but it was more affordable for me to do that through community. Again, Remind is similar. I know a lot of teachers use Remind and they're comfortable with it. I've used it a little bit, not a ton, but it's very similar to that. So you can build your audience that way. Okay. Then I'm going to talk about these. Then we'll go in and talk more in depth. Next one are your single purchases. This is when somebody gives you money for something. So the first 2 are free. You can get free content on social media. You can sign up for my email or my text list. Okay. Or follow or subscribe. That means that you're going to see more of my content, or I can deliver it to you directly. But it's just like that next level of commitment, but it doesn't cost you anything. Then you go into your single purchases. So like, for instance, this book right here, this is a single purchase. When you go out and you buy this book, you don't owe me any, like you have it. You don't give me like, oh, you got to pay me $10 a month to, look at this book. You don't have to do that because you're not going to, it's just not how it works. It's a single purchase. The way in my mind I always think of this is I have single purchases. Like if I go speak at a school, or if I go consult with the school, or go, work with a teacher group or a co-op. If I go do that, they're going to pay me money for my time to go there and do that. Or they're going to pay me for this one thing. And then after that, they're never going to pay me again. Or they can rehire me, but they're not going to continually pay me. Okay. These are fantastic sources of income. However, as a creator, you can't always rely on new employment, new people coming in. Okay. So it's not the best one you want if you're trying to make money from utilizing, what you're creating. Okay. So single purchases in my mind, because I used to shoot a lot of video. I still do. What's up? But I used to shoot like, for weddings or commercials, things like that. The way I would do it, the difference between the yellow one and then this green one is when I would create content, when I go shoot a wedding and I go in, I shoot for 12 hours and then I spend 40 hours editing their wedding video. I give it to them. They never pay me again. It was a one-time chunk of money. Okay. Whereas if I create a video and I stick it on YouTube, it has the potential to add me AdSense revenue for years. Like I've got videos on there, been on there for 12 years that make me $10 a month or $5 a month or, 30 cents a month. I've got different videos that can bring in that money forever. So which is more valuable? You think to yourself, well, obviously for long term, YouTube's better. Like that's more valuable because you can get paid every month based on, people viewing it. Yes, but it's also a lot slower. So when I make a YouTube video, I'm probably not going to make 10 cents from it in the first month. Okay. I'm lucky if I make 10 cents because what is that? That's like 5,000 views, 10,000 views, something like that. So you're lucky to make that amount of money. Whereas with a wedding, you can go out and you can shoot it and make 2 or 3 grand from doing that, but you never make it again. So this yellow one, it is great to have things like this, single purchases, because it's just all part of your funnel. It's growing outside of what you're doing. So like, for instance, my book is a perfect example. I wrote this book, took a ton of time, a lot more time than my other books. Took a ton of time, but here's the deal. I always have this. If somebody goes in, they like a video I made, they think, oh, that's great. And then they subscribe, boom, hit the second level. And then they're like, oh, I like what this dude says. After they watch me for 6 months, I want to see what his thoughts are on the book. They'll go buy the book. Boom. You can make a chunk of money from that. Now, that's next. Then this is like the holy grail. This is where you want to go as a creator. It's the bottom of the funnel. These are your subscription based. This is stuff that you can rely on as long as someone subscribed to you through a paywall or a pay to play, things like that. So you can go in and get people there. We're going to talk more about it. I'm going to show you some examples of things you can set up, but we're not going to start there because I want to start with actually creating the content. I want to really lean into that because here's the deal. You can have all of these layers, but if you're not creating content that adds people value or helps people or that people want to keep seeing, nobody's going to pay money for that. Like if you're not creating, like a lot of people want to jump straight down to oh yeah, give me money for this. Have you ever followed somebody on Twitter or Facebook or Instagram and all they do is try to pitch you to buy things from them? Like it's super frustrating, right? Like we don't like to be marketed to. We don't want to be sold. Okay. But which again, I've bought stuff. I've seen ads on Instagram and I bought in the chat. What is the last thing you bought from seeing an Instagram or Facebook or whatever ad? What is the last thing you bought from seeing an ad? I'll tell you, I got stickers. I bought a bunch. Where are they? They're in here. Here we go. I bought a bunch of these stickers from an ad from what's that company called? MailChimp's email. Sticker Mule. So my friend Neil and I have a podcast called Tyler and Neil Explain Everything, and we're about to kick it back off for season 2. And I saw a promo, 50 of these for $20. I was like, sure, I'll do that. And so sometimes you just want to roll in and buy something from an ad. Now, if I follow somebody and then what their content starts becoming is just constantly them pitching me to get my money, even if I like what they're saying, I'm not going to be a huge fan of it unless they weigh that out. Like if they even that out with free content. If they're adding me value for free, I'm going to feel a lot more indebted to them. Okay. Now, it was Gary Vaynerchuk. He had a book, I think it was called Jab, 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 Right Hook. Okay. And so the premise for the book is you've got jabs. That's giving them free content. Here's this for free. Here's this training. Here is this resource. Here is this template. Bam, 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 bam. And then your right hook. Here, will you sign up for this? Here, will you buy my book? Get on my Tarver Academy honor roll. Sign up for my Patreon. That's your ask. But your jabs need to be like he said, like in the book, I've heard him talk before on this stuff. He thinks it should be like 80 to 90% free stuff and then like 10 to 20% asking for them to do something, and even asking them to share something. That's an ask. You're asking your audience to do something that would benefit you. That needs to be the lower portion of what you're doing. If you're asking stuff of your audience 90% of the time and then you're giving them like fun, free, whatever, 10% of the time, you're going to lose your audience. That's just the facts, okay? And if you see a creator that started out being funny or fun and giving all this value and entertainment, and then they start pushing the stuff that gets your money, and that's all they're doing, they're not adding you as much value, they're only just trying to get you to pay them money, you're going to see their audience dwindle because that is super unattractive to audiences on the internet because so much the internet's free. My personal thoughts on this, I create a ton of free content. I would say 98% of what I create is free for everybody on the internet. Okay. And I'll show you some examples of that later, like a crossover I did that could give you some ideas. And so whenever I do ask, I still feel a little uncomfortable. So if you watch my TikToks and I'm going in to give somebody like a free template that would cost them $10 on Teachers Pay Teachers, but I'm giving it to them for free, that's free value I'm adding. And then whenever I go into the video, I'll say, hey, I'm going to show you how to get there. Click on the link in the bio. And then scroll down and I'll be like, and there's my book. Bleh. And I'll like make fun of my book, which I don't want to make fun of it. I think it's fine. I think it's a great book. But I'm going to like quickly reference things I've got that they could actually move into the yellow or the green section for. Oh, there's the honor roll. Meh. And I'll like reference it, but then I'll move on to the free stuff. So it's like I'm going to lunch with somebody. I'm going to buy their meal, but then I'm just going to ask them if hey, do you want to pay for dessert? You don't have to, but if you want to, you can pay for dessert. I'll pay for the whole meal. You know what I mean? So it's like you're doing those little add-ons, but you're hopefully showing them the value of it as they go forward. Okay. So that's the funnel. I'm going to lean into these different areas, but I kind of want to spend a decent amount of time on creating the content, because if you're not creating the content, if you're not creating content that either entertains or educates, overall just adds value to people, it's going to be so much harder to do the rest of this stuff unless you just do like collaborations. So for instance, like, y'all ever heard of Masterclass? It's where like you can get like, I can learn to shoot from Steph Curry, or I can learn to, make movies from Martin Scorsese or whatever. You can go in and do those things. And it's like Masterclass doesn't give me a lot of value, but it's their collaborations that attract me, because I'm like, oh, I love Steph Curry. I want to shoot like him. And they become the vehicle or the vessel or whatever, the template. It's not a template. They become the avenue in which I learn from the person I actually care about, which is Steph Curry, who adds me a ton of value by playing basketball, and I get to watch all that stuff that he does. So there you go. So collaborations is a way around that. But for the most part, you need to work out a plan to create a ton of free content for people so that, eventually you could move them into the other funnels if that's something you want to do. Okay. So here's a thought process, a mindset, if you will, for when you're creating content. And I try to be, this is not just for creating content. I do my best to do this with like relationships, like friendships, people I work with. This is something I'm genuinely trying to live by. I'm not perfect at it by any means, and I probably talk about myself more than I should. My friend Leanne told me that the other day. You talk about yourself too much. I'm like, calm down. So I genuinely try my best to do this. This is the idea of God versus hero. You don't want to be the hero when you're creating content for people. If you look like the perfect teacher and what you're doing is showing people all the great things you're doing, they're going to feel like you've got to figure it out. What value can they add for me? They might think you're cool, or they might think, oh, that's neat, or I want to see what they're doing because it's so inspiring. But it's not like they're going to feel like they owe you anything. You know what I mean? And I say, you don't want people to owe you, but you know what I mean? Like they're not going to feel like, oh, cool, I would love to pay money to see how cool this person is. What you want to do is you want to position yourself as, hey, I want to guide you in your process of being the best teacher you can. You want to make your audience the hero, and you want to guide them. You're guiding them through what it is. So like a director of a movie, their job is not for you to think they're a cool director. Their job is to guide you throughout the narrative of whatever movie they're doing. The example here is Luke Skywalker and Yoda. You could swap out Yoda for Obi-Wan Kenobi if you're talking about the first one, or the episode 4. So it's like Luke Skywalker's the hero. What was Obi-Wan Kenobi and Yoda's? What were their roles? Their roles were not to be the hero, even though they were way more powerful than Luke. That was not their role in the movie. Their role is to guide Luke to be the hero. So if you take on that type of mentality with your audience, where you are not you may know more than them. You might be a couple steps ahead on certain things, or you might have something, but your goal is not for them to think you're cool because you're such a great teacher or such a great, content creator or whatever. Your goal is to bring them along for the ride and help empower them to be the hero. I do this when I'm teaching. I try my best to have this mentality. I want to guide my students to be the hero. I don't want to stand up and talk for 45 minutes. Here's all the things I know about marketing, or here's all the things I know about teaching or math or whatever it is. I don't want to sit up there and just ramble on about all the stuff I know. What I want to do is I want to empower them to know as much as me or more. So that's a mentality, a marketing mentality that I highly recommend you take on. Okay. So I'm sorry this looks so ratchet. This was like, I did this presentation for, it was like a mini presentation, and then I took notes on top of it, and I wanted you guys to see my notes because I'm showing you behind the scenes, because that's the goal of this training, is that I can walk you through the entire process, not just like the finished product. Okay. Sorry, I'm going to drink some coffee. No, I'm not. That's very cold and not very good. I'm going to drink some water. In the chat, what are you drinking right now? It's whatever time it is for you. Drinking coffee. Do you drink coffee in the afternoon? You water, milk, goes a little warm milk with your trainings. Okay, so we're gonna roll in. So these are what I call the 4 C's of building an audience. Okay, this falls into the first level, but then also fills into the rest. Okay, we've talked about this several times, but I'm gonna reinforce it. Good content. You need, and I don't mean like, oh, you got the best production value. Look how clean this is. Every movie that goes to the movie theaters is made by like some of the best people in their field in the world, the best directors of photography, directors, actors, with the best equipment, you know, hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not millions of dollars worth of equipment. It's all made very well. But there are movies made every month that tank and nobody watches because the content isn't good. So when I talk about good content, I'm talking about you need to make something that adds people value. Add them value. Either educate them or, what's the other one? Educate or entertain. Thank you. Do those 2 things, okay? My thoughts on it, there's a lot of different schools of thought for this. My thoughts on it, add authenticity. Be authentic to who you are on these platforms. And here's the deal. Different platforms have different levels of authenticity. TikTok is a very authentic platform. If you come in fake, you ain't going to last on TikTok. They want it real, okay? You can Instagram, they're about that influencer culture. They want it to look clean or nice or propped up or whatever. I still think you should be authentic across all of them. If not, say you start creating content and you're being like this hyped up version of yourself, or this like, here's all the things I do in my class, but it's not genuine to who you are. In 2 or 3 years, even if you have an amazing audience, you know what you're going to do? You're going to make a video where you're just talking to your audience and you're going to say, hey, I'm sorry. Like, this ain't real. This ain't the way it was. We see YouTubers and, you know, social media influencers all of the time dropping like flies because they put off this version of themselves, but then they're hiding this whole other version of themselves. Honestly, one creator, David Dobrik. David Dobrik used to be like the most beloved creator like on YouTube. Like everybody, like not everybody, but a ton of people loved his content. They loved his atmosphere. They wanted to be friends with him. Then a bunch of stories came out, and then the way he reacted to it made it seem like he wasn't taking it seriously, as serious as he should. Some stories came out about some of the people in his group and some of the kind of awful stuff they did. And people didn't like that because he had a persona of somebody I want to hang out with. And if your audience finds out that you're not the person you said you were, or your group is not who they said they were, they're not going to like that. And you're going to have to talk about it. You're going to have to explain it. Okay. So be authentic to who you are. When you're talking about your teaching journey, you're talking about resources. Be real. Don't pose to be something you're not. Okay. Being yourself, 100% yourself is always better than being 80% of somebody else. That's just facts. Okay. Now, if you add value to people, that's always going to help them. Be the guide, not the hero. And then learn your audience. That's another big thing. So like on TikTok, when I create a TikTok, I know what's going to do well with the audience compared to other stuff. Now, granted, there are hits and misses, but for the most part, numbers don't lie. You can read and know what's going to pop off for your audience, what's not. Like that last video I just posted, I thought it would do well. You know why? Because it's short. It's hits a topic that encourages teachers in what they're doing and what they've accomplished. And also I've seen that those trends like that tend to do well. So I've only done a few of them because I don't want to be like a person who's like only does those things. You know, I mean, maybe I should because they get more attention, but I also don't want to just rely on that one thing. I'm willing to sacrifice views to put out more authentic versions of myself. I make templates. I do, I make resources. I hang out with my kids. Like I'm going to post about that stuff because I feel like that's more genuine, authentic to me, but I am still learning my audience. So I know before I post something, if something is going to matter to them or not. That's just, again, you know, it's not 100%. If it was, everybody'd have 1 million followers, but for the most part, you can learn a lot from it. Lisa asked, Will they ever stop coming out with new social media? No, they won't. You know why? Because there's money there. If something is valuable enough to make money, they'll keep creating it and trying to break into that market. Honestly, what a lot of social medias want to do now is they want to come up with something unique or a niche or a piece of that market, and then get so good that one of the big players buys them. And that's what they want to do, because here's the deal. We talked earlier about different social medias that have tanked. Do y'all remember there was an app? It was called HQ Trivia. Do y'all remember that? I used to love it. 2 times a day, you go live. You do like Scott Rogowski would go on, and you would just go in and you would try to answer questions, and you could if you lasted all 10 questions or whatever, you won a prize. That doesn't exist anymore. There's a podcast out where they go into like a detailed look at like what happened, why that place tanked. There's tons of reasons. I mean, it was almost it was worth hundreds of millions of dollars at one point in time. Now it's not worth hardly anything. The reason is because they did not choose the right avenue. People are always going to be making stuff as long as that avenue makes money. Okay. Like there's always going to be people at tryouts if the baseball team pays well. I'm working on my dissertation, and in the process of that, actually, I say I'm working on it. I had to pause for like 3 months because I'm doing 120 hours of PD a month. So it's a lot of work, but you're great. I love it. I actually do really enjoy creating it. And I'll talk through the process here with you guys of going through that. So in the process of working on my dissertation, I get to look at a lot of research studies and and one of the things I'm looking into is how do we engage people online? How do we get them to keep watching? How do we get them to hit like, subscribe, whatever? How do we keep the attention of people online? I found through every research study I could find talking about the subject, there are 2 main reasons, by far, 2 main reasons that people stop watching things on the internet. Number 1, they're confused about what's happening. If you're creating content, you need to think either through the video, through the picture, or through the caption. I need to explain very clearly what I'm doing and who this helps. Like I need to explain exactly what's happening. If your students walk into your class 8 minutes into class, what's the first thing you do? Hey, Johnny, I know you just came in. We're talking about slope-intercept formula. So if you'll get down and get out your notebook, we're just going to take notes and then we're going to do homework. Boom. I just explained, like we do that naturally. It's because when they walk in, we don't want them confused. But then a lot of times we'll start a video, we'll make a post that makes sense to us because we've been in our content for years or weeks or months or whatever. But somebody that just randomly sees it might not have a clue what you're talking about or what you're posting about. So you need to make sure that your audience is not confused. In everything I do, I try my best to explain what's happening. If you were here during like our 10-minute intro to this, when people were signing on, I said probably, 15 times, hey guys, if you're just joining us, hold your camera over the QR code, hit the pop-up and sign in. I would do that because at any point, somebody could have jumped into that intro and not had a clue what was happening. So I put text on the screen and I verbally said what I wanted them to do frequently because I want them not to be confused. And the second big reason that people stop watching stuff on the internet is because they don't see how it applies to them. In my bio, it says, I want to help teachers. That's what I want to do. Teachers know what my purpose is and if I apply to them. Whenever I make a TikTok, I go, hey teachers, do you ever do this? I'll say, you're a teacher, you do this. If you're not a teacher, you're probably going to swipe. Totally cool. This is not made for you. But if you are a teacher, that might catch you for a few more seconds because you're like, oh, I'm a teacher. What's up? You know what I mean? Like I'm talking to that audience and they know it's going to apply to them. So when you're teaching, if you were teaching about the, American Revolution, and then you start talking about Genghis Khan, students are going to be like, is this on the test? Like, they don't know how it applies to them. Why do I need to know this? Why do I need to learn this? Why do I need to have this? So keep that in mind. Don't let people be confused about what you're doing, and also show them how it applies to them. And that's what I try to do. So like for my honor roll, my tagline is, I've got two. I had one tagline and then I just switched to a new one. So if you're talking, want to sign up for the Tarver Academy Honor Roll, tarveracademy.com/honor roll. It's like Netflix for teachers. Everybody knows what Netflix is. Everybody knows what a teacher is. If you like Netflix and the amount of content they provide, and you're a teacher, I can help add you the amount of value Netflix does for fun. I can add that to you as a teacher. In just saying it's like Netflix for teachers, I've just said a lot about who it applies to, and I'm trying to clear up confusion about what the Honor Roll offers, okay? Used to, my tagline was bite-sized PD for busy teachers. So that's the idea. It's bite-sized trainings for teachers that are busy. So you want to go in and say, this is what it's for, this is how it helps you, and this is what it can do for you, okay? So keep that in mind. Fun fact, this model used to be called the David Dobrik model, but then because David Dobrik came out that he was like, not making the best decisions with his group, I was like, I need to change that. So I called it the TikTok model, and I actually changed it up a little bit. So when you're creating content, you don't want it to be scripted. Like, would you guys enjoy being a part of this PD if it was like this? Hello, thank you so much for attending. Please don't forget to sign in. Today, we're going to be talking about social media creator workshop. I'm so excited that you are here. Blah, blah, blah. You don't want it to be forced or scripted. You don't want to feel like I'm reading it out of the book. Has anybody in the chat, have you ever had a teacher that literally read out of the book? I did. Loved him. Great teacher. But we spent a good portion of class just straight reading out of the book. And so like, you don't want it to feel like that because that takes away authenticity. It doesn't feel real. Like that 10 seconds I read off to the side, did that feel real to you? Did it feel like I was genuinely talking to you? No, because I'm straight reading it, okay? And you knew it. You want to be authentic to yourself. Now, that kind of covers all of it. Then you want a loose script. I don't have the picture on it, but I call it the buoy model. I actually got it from my friend Knox, very successful podcaster. It's the buoy model. You want to have like different checkpoints, like bullet points of what you're going to talk about. So whenever I'm making a TikTok, I know like if it's a template, like I'm going to give out a free template, digital notebook. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go, hey, how are you? Are you having a good day? So do you ever teach class and you want something that makes your students not get confused and helps attach all the class so they know what to do? I got something for you. Here we go. I know I'm going to say hello. I'm going to greet them. Also, fun fact, when you're talking to people on a video, don't say, hey, everybody, how are y'all doing? Say, hey, how are you today? Are you having a good day? You know why? Because when they watch the video on YouTube, they're not sitting with everybody. They're sitting by themselves and watching it on their phone or their computer. Talk to an individual. So I know my bullet points, my buoys for when I'm swimming across the lake of a TikTok video or a YouTube video, my bullet points are say hello, address them as teachers. So I tell my audience who they are. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to present them with a problem. Hey, do you ever struggle with this? Or do you ever see this? Or do you ever have problems with this? Boom. Then I'm going to go in and I'm going to show them how to get there. Go to my link in my Instagram bio. I'm going to click on it. And then I'm going to do a quick run through, and then I'm going to say goodbye. Those are the bullet points. Super simple. If I'm doing a podcast, my friend Neil, Tyler and Neil Explain Everything podcast. If you want to check it out, subscribe. Whenever we're doing a podcast, we have bullet points of what we want to talk about. We have segments that will hit as we go. Does that mean we're going to script it and go straight down? Bam. All right. Number one, we're going to talk about who is Logan Paul. Number two, Logan Paul is this YouTuber that did this. Number three, we're not going to do that. We're going to talk. We're going to have a conversation. We're going to have dialogue about it. And we might swim a little bit away from the buoy, but then when it's time we're done talking about whatever that is, we're going to come back to the next buoy. Like literally, I'm doing the buoy model with you guys right now because this presentation, these slides are my buoys. Anytime I'm talking about the TikTok model, whenever I get done, guess what? I'm done talking about it. Boom, I'm going to bounce into the next thing. Hopefully this feels authentic. As you can tell, I'm probably not scripting this, okay? I'm talking to you about what I know based on this or based on what you guys are asking, throwing in there. So you got a loose script, and then you want to hit them with a key point, okay? I would highly recommend you hit them with a key point. Don't ever put something out there where you don't have either an ask or you are having something that you are going to provide. Like you need to give them something in that TikTok or that Instagram video or that YouTube video. Give them something of value. Okay. The next C in the 4 C's of building an audience: be consistent. Be consistent. In the chat, tell me a platform the platform you use the most, and then tell me how frequently you post to that platform. Okay? What do you use the most and how frequently? Okay, tell me in the chat. I'd love to hear it. Okay? I'll tell you mine. I try at this point, because I'm doing all this summer PD, I'm trying to post to TikTok and Instagram at least one time a day. Once a day, around between 6 and 9 p.m., I try to post one time. About 4 or 5 months ago, before I was building all this summer PD stuff, building all these trainings, before that, I was posting about 3 times a day on TikTok, Instagram, and then sometimes YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. Okay, 3 times a day. So that was happening. I would post 6 p.m., 7 or 7:30, and then 8 or 9. I'd post 3 times a day. That way, people knew they could go in and watch my channel almost every day, and they would have at least a few minutes of content they could watch. Okay, that was the frequency of how much I posted. Now, a lot of people are like, that's a lot. That's a lot. It is a lot. Okay, and especially if you're doing it by yourself. So what I recommend, if you're trying to create content and you're just like, you know what, I just don't think I have enough to say to where I can post once a day. That's fine. Post once a week. Pick a day and say every Monday at 9 a.m., I'm going to post a video. Or every Monday at 7 p.m., I'm going to post an Instagram. Every whatever, I'm going to post this frequently. Here's the reason that's important. Consistency matters to your audience because they know when to see new content from you. So if you're on there, like Austin has a podcast. He's in the chat. So if I wanted to go to listen to the Father Son podcast, and they're like, okay, so we're going to post 2 Mondays in a row, and then we're going to post on Thursday in the morning, and then we'll wait a month, and then we're going to post on a Saturday night, somewhere between 10 and midnight. You'll never guess when. I'm probably not going to remember that. Whenever I was a kid, I knew that Friends came on every Thursday night at 7. I knew when to watch it. I knew when to expect new content from them. You need to be consistent with your posts so your audience that genuinely cares about you knows when to show up or when to check for new content. My favorite Instagram account, one of my favorite Instagram accounts is House of Highlights. They put like sports highlights on there. I know they're going to post 3 times a day, 3 or 4 times a day. Every time I sign on to Instagram, I go to my search, I find House of Highlights, and I watch it. Or the algorithm knows that I want to watch it, and they'll pop it to the top. I'm always getting the chance to see more of their content. So you need to be consistent with your content. Now, if I talk about like, why do I think my Twitter, my Facebook, and my YouTube don't have the communities like my TikTok or my Instagram, it's because I was not consistent over the past decade. That's how long I've had those. I was not consistent over the past decade with those platforms. So my YouTube, I'd post a bunch every day for like a week or once a week for 3 months. And then I would stop for 6 months because I got busy shooting weddings or doing this or doing that. You got to figure out what is consistent to you. Now, here's the deal. That can seem overwhelming. That can seem overwhelming. That's like you're thinking, Tyler, that just added a part-time job. Every Tuesday, I've got to think about something to create and post by the next day on Wednesday. This is how I recommend you create content. Y'all ready? And this, when I was doing 3 posts a day, I would try to do this. I didn't always do it, but I did pretty decent at it. What you do is you record them and edit them in bulk. So whether it's for YouTube videos or for YouTube videos or for like TikToks or Instagrams, whatever, for social media, if you're creating, go out and shoot 5 episodes in a row. Go shoot 5 videos in a row and edit them all together. Boom. Save. If it's TikTok, you're saving in the drafts. Instagram, saving the drafts. YouTube, you just save it as a file on your computer, whatever. Shoot 5 videos and edit them. Then go in and on YouTube, you can upload all 5 videos at once and schedule them a week apart. Okay. So for my summer PD, a lot of these I'm recording early and then I'm scheduling a month in advance to go live as a premiere for 3 hours. I don't have to worry about it. Once I get it out there, it's ready to go. It's good to go. Like I don't have to worry about it. However, if I'm every day thinking, okay, I got a PD tomorrow, I got to record. Oh, I got a PD tomorrow, I got to record. That's gonna be almost unmanageable. So it's like you have to create it and schedule it out, and it allows you to not think of yourself as like, oh, I'm one show. I can be a full network. And what you could do is you could essentially make series that center around different topics. So for instance, if I'm creating for TikTok, I'm going to think of myself in 3 series. So I've got templates. So it's like, hey, make a copy of this and you can use it in your classroom. I got a template series. I'll go in and film 20 videos talking about each of my different 20 templates. Boom, I've got 20 videos right there. Then I could go in and make, quick tip videos. I'm like, hey, if you go do this on Instagram go do this on Google Slides or do this in Google Forms, it'll save you time. I can go record 10 or 20 of those. And then the last one, I can go do something that's based around like a TikTok trend. So like that last one was like, I don't see a lie, it's all true or whatever like that. That's a trend. I can go film 10 or 20 trends. Then I've got, if I did 10 of each, that's 30 posts. And I could just go into TikTok, 7 p.m. every night, set an alarm, go in, click on it, go to my drafts, hit post, boom, toss that into Instagram, boom, toss that into YouTube, boom. I've got a video a day for 30 days just because I went in and spent a couple hours filming for TikTok, okay? Now, that's the way I do it. I'll create them in bulk and then I'll schedule them out. I do a series called Rock the Quote where it's like a bell ringer for students. And what I'll do is I'll go in and I'll record, 10 videos with my camera, upload them, edit them, export them, and then upload all 10 videos into YouTube. And then I'll schedule them, once a week or every day or however I want to do it for it to go out on there. So you got to almost record and do it in bulk before you want to go out and do it. Next one, and we talked about this a little bit earlier, collaborate. One of the biggest things is anybody, okay, there was a meme that went around. It was like the Avengers or something, and they were like, name a better, not partnership, but name a better collaboration or something like that. In the chat, tell me your favorite collaboration you've ever seen. It can be 2 musical artists, which it has to be like what, Nelly and Tim McGraw. Remember that song? What was that song with Nelly and Tim McGraw? That's a collaboration. Music artists do this all the time. They call them features. I'm going to make a song and I'm going to feature Drake. I'll pay Drake $100,000 to sing, 8 verses on my song. Boom. What that's going to do is that's going to attract Drake's audience to my music. There's a rapper called J. Cole. Over and over again. That was it. Over and over again. Because it's all in my head. I think about it over and over. Man, you got into this thinking like, oh, he's maybe going to help me with social media. And instead you found that I have the voice of an angel. I know, guys. I get that all the time from myself in the mirror. I'm just kidding. I know I'm not a good singer. So whenever J. Cole, he's a rapper, he made an album that went like double platinum. And it became like a catchphrase that J. Cole went double platinum with no features, because the formula for Justin Bieber to expand his audience or sell a bunch of copies is that he's going to pay Drake or he's going to pay, who is it? He's going to pay, like, I'm trying to think of people he collaborated with. People that you collaborate with to bring in their audience as well. And so, like, this is normal for business. Business has been doing this forever. Like Brad Pitt, what does he know about perfume? Nothing, but he's popular. And if he talks about Chanel, guess what? People might relate Brad Pitt with Chanel, and they might buy Chanel because it's related to guys who make good movies. I don't know. Those are collaborations. As creators, what you do is you can collaborate with other creators to share their audiences. Now, who do you collaborate with? I recommend collaborate with people who share your audience. So I got a friend, his name's Rick Hutchinson, and he has a channel called Retro Rick. It's a YouTube channel. He's doing very well. And he has a lot of attention there. When I collaborate with him, not a lot of people want to follow my education account because he talks about retro gaming stuff and retro toys. That audience doesn't overlap a ton, so I won't see a lot of success out of that. Now, what I would do is maybe I would collaborate and do a partnership with there was somebody. So for the TikTok Teacher Conference, I collaborated with Forever Finding X. I interviewed her. That was a collaboration because whenever I put that out there, I'm hoping she'll share it, and then her audience will tune into the TikTok Teacher Conference, maybe like what I've created, and jump in on some of my resources and things that I'm doing. So look at this. Missy said, team teacher. Exactly. That is a collaboration. You're collaborating with another educator who either knows something different, addresses a different student population, maybe can teach to, like I used to, I had, what do they call it? Oh my goodness. It was like I had a co-teacher. I was teaching geometry, and Mr. Stewart was also my class. He was there to focus on students that had, IEPs. And so what he would do is he would walk around and help students individually while I'm teaching the whole class. He had a skill set in teaching those students that I didn't have. Yes, I could teach them. Maybe I could help them or connect with them. But his focus was that, and we collaborated. So that's a great example of a collaboration. Here's a tip. If you're going to create content or you're going to do something, you need to tag the people that are in like whatever you're posting, because there's a really good chance that they're going to repost it. If you tag them on Instagram, how many of y'all will post your story or repost whatever if somebody tags you on something? How many of you will retweet when somebody tags you in a tweet? If you put someone in something and tag them and they know it exists, I would say 4 times out of 5, somebody's going to repost that. They're going to share that. Then you've opened yourself up to their audience as well. It's almost like they vouch for you with their audience. Okay. So tons of value. All right. And the 4th C of building it, and this is honestly, good content. You have to have good content, but this is the one to build a genuine network, something where people work their way down the funnel, is you got to build community. You have to make people feel seen. How much would your students like your class if what their job was to walk into class, they hit play on a YouTube video of you, and you talk for 30 minutes and then that's it. You never walk in, you never ask them about them, you never listen. When they ask questions, you ignore. Like, they would not feel community in that class, but they feel community because you talk to them, you get to know them, you connect with them, you answer their questions, you help them. We got to think of that the same way in an online environment. When someone asks you a question in the comments of one of your videos, if you don't answer, that person does not feel seen. They do not feel valued by you. That had a negative impact on them. I don't hit every comment. I know I need to hit every comment. A lot of times though, like that last video that I posted, let me see. Let's go look at it. Whoa. It went up like 48,000 views since we did it. That's cool. In the comment, let me see how many comments there are. This comment alone got 165 likes. Oh, it's got 256 comments. It is difficult for me to go in and reply to all those comments to push the conversation. However, there's a lot of people in here that are replying to other people because it's a community of teachers talking about something that we all share, which is teaching. So whenever you are going in and creating content and building this universe, you're going to attract people around that same community. So what you should do is you want to foster that. You want to answer questions. You want to ask questions. You want to make people feel seen and real part of that community, not just like, oh, you can be my fan. You can admire me from a distance. No, you're valuable. I'm doing this channel for you, not for me. I'm doing it because I want to add you value. That changes the tone of what you're creating for your community. Talk to them, answer every question, and join the conversation. Now, this is a little trick, okay? So let's go to Instagram. So if you want to spread your audience, say you're like, Tyler, I've been posting on Instagram every day for 6 months, and I'm not growing at all. I'm not, it's my channel's not building the way I want. What you can do is you can go in and you can reach out to people in community. Don't just rely on the algorithm to go in and be like, well, my algorithm's going to go find my community for me. Go, algorithm, go. What you can do is you can go in and insert yourself into that community. So what I can do is I can click on this video. I can go to Teachers of Instagram. Click on the hashtag. That is a community of people built around Teachers of Instagram. Okay, I'm not going to post on hers. That'd be weird. Miss Southard, I think I know who that is. Don't know Southard? Is that the lady from? No, that's not her. Okay, this will always be one of my favorite classroom doors. My door is already wide, so I just use blue painter's tape to make the stripes. I'm going to hit like. I'm going to join the conversation. That is an incredible idea. 10 points to Gryffindor. Okay? Or Y-F-I-N. Okay. Hit enter. I just joined the conversation on someone else's. Did I go into her channel and go, hey, I've got a teacher account too. Go follow me. No. What I did was I looked at what it is. I said, that's pretty cool. And then I made my comment. Guess what? She might not, because I think she got a ton of comments on this. But if somebody only has, 1 or 2 comments or 10 or 12 comments, if you go in and make a comment like this, the first thing they're going to do is they're going to click on your name. They're going to go look at your profile. You might get a follower out of it. If you want to go in and you want to grow your audience and you're like serious about it, this is what you'll do. You'll go in, you'll find a hashtag related to whatever it is you talk about. You're going to click on the hashtag, and then you're going to go into 20 people, the top 20 posts, and you're going to go read it. You're going to like it. You're going to add value, or you're going to reply to somebody's comment. You're going to go in and add value to somebody on their page. And you're going to do that for 20 different photos based on that hashtag. And then you're going to go into another hashtag related to your topic, and you're going to do the same thing. If you spend 1 hour every night doing that, while you're watching Netflix, you're going into the hashtag and you're adding value in your community, you will see your account grow. Again, unless your account's absolute trash, okay? If your account is decent or better, and usually if it's not even that decent, you will see growth on your account from doing that. It's not cheating, it's not churning, it's not cheating the system. You are reaching out, adding value in the community outside of your home, and then they are coming back and seeing that you add them value as well, and they're going to hit follow. That is what you do if you want to grow an account. Straight up. There you go. That's the best advice I can get you for growing that account. And that's outreach. Also, I'm not going to talk on this a lot because I have several sessions this summer that talk about this, and I do want time to go in and review and create and show you guys some stuff. But I've got this in here because I think it might add you value. If you're making a video, whether it's a short video for TikTok or Instagram, or you're making like a longer video for YouTube, this is my best recommendation on how you would go in and essentially bullet point what you're creating for your audience. Okay. Branding, you want people to know who you are. Hey, what's up, guys? It's Tyler from Tarver Academy. That's the first of like every video I got. Hey, what's up? Tyler from Tarver Academy. What's up? Like and subscribe. Blah, blah, blah. By the way, did y'all hit the red subscribe button? If not, why do you hate me? Then you go in and you can do branding. You can address them as an individual. We talked about that. Remind them of who you are. Hey, this is Tyler from Tarver Academy. I'm here to help you as a teacher grow and, learn and have fun. 4, community connections, blah, blah, going in 5, 6 key points, tell a story, relate it because stories stick. And then and give them a challenge. Hey, in the comments, tell me this. In the chat, tell me this. You want to ask them to do something. In your class, go do this. That's your homework. You're giving them homework. Teachers have been doing this for years, standing in front of their class. And it works also for video. So this is based on my research. This is the best template for you to make that. And I actually have right here, this is a template you can have. You can make a copy of it. Should ask you to make a copy. You do this. You could do fill in the blank. And whether it's you or your students, you guys can make videos that hopefully engage the audience better than if you didn't. So you just fill it in. Boom. You can just fill this in. And then when you're doing a video, just go down and hit the script or the outline. No, not a script. We talked about that. But hit the outline and talk about it. Okay? Sweet. So these are some different video styles. And I put some videos in there so you can like see test runs of that. Again, I do this in a ton of different trainings, and I don't want to use 20 minutes of this training doing that. I will tell you this. These are some video options right here. This is right now what you're watching. If you're watching right now and names I've been talking about are in the chat and you're seeing them pop up, then you're watching it live. That is a live video going out on YouTube. Now, if you're watching this later and it's just a video and you're like, you can tell that it's not like says premiere or anything like that or streaming, then you're watching it after the fact. Because most YouTube videos you're watching afterwards. The last one is a really cool one. And I've been doing this one a lot with a lot of my summer trainings is a premiere. So what I can do is I can go in and I can film and build a 3-hour video and I can upload it. When I upload it, I select the option to schedule it as a premiere. And so when you're going in to watch, Google Slides training, and it goes live at 9 a.m. and it's got a video of me telling you how to sign in, and then it goes into different trainings. If it says premiere, that means I've already recorded it and uploaded it. The chat is happening live. All the people talking is live. I'm usually in the chat talking, answering questions, like addressing people there. So it's almost like I have a co-teacher. I've pre-recorded myself teaching the stuff before, but then I'm answering individual questions while I'm, doing other stuff. And I'm co-teaching, helping people in the chat and that. It's a great way to connect with your audience, like get across what you need to, but also be able to add value in the chat. Okay. So Premieres, I definitely recommend you check those out. I use StreamYard. That's what we're using right now. This live stream, this is happening through StreamYard, and I highly recommend it for live streams. You can show your screen. Oh, I'm out of focus. Hey, what's up? Okay, there we go. I recommend it because you can show your screen and you can also show your face. Screencastify, Loom, Canva, those all do pre-recorded stuff where you can show screen and you can show your face. But I really like StreamYard because, I don't know, I just do. I think it connects well with YouTube and all these others. The only negative is there's about a 10-second lag on the chat. So if you guys talk in the chat, it takes about 10 seconds for me to see it. And so that makes it hard to kind of do it exactly on the fly, but it's pretty cool. And you're like, well, does that mean I got to go out and buy a bunch of like equipment and all this stuff? No, you don't have to go buy equipment. I would recommend using your phone. I've made a lot of videos with, this is an A6400 Sony camera. I've got, Canon Mark II or Mark something over there. I've got Sony A7. I don't shoot with those. 99% of what I shoot is with my phone. Every TikTok is with my phone. And guess what? It's good enough quality and it adds them enough value to where they like it. And I can move faster. I can make more content. So don't worry about what you're shooting with. Usually your phone works perfectly fine. Let's talk about some shooting tips. And then I want to move back up to our funnel. Real quick shooting tips. Hold the camera or the phone eye level right here. You don't want to do this where it's like, like everybody's dad on Facebook where it's like, there's the underside of my dad's neck. Is this thing on? And you don't want to go up here where it's like you're taking a bathroom selfie. You want the phone to be eye level. You want to make sure you hit record. I cannot tell you how many times I've gone through 5 or 10 minutes of me talking and realized that I did not hit record correctly and it's not recording. So make sure you hit record. The other thing, when you're doing anything using a camera and people are watching on a video, whether it's in live or later, who am I looking at right now? Who's making eye contact with me? You are. Whenever you record with your phone and you look at yourself, you're doing this or you're doing this. Hey, what's up? How are you? Tyler here. Does it look like I'm talking to you? No. It looks like I'm reading a teleprompter. But you know what I'm really doing? Looking at myself. Whenever you hit record, stop looking at yourself on the camera and start looking at the actual camera. If you can't stop, I'm going to give you a tip. If you cannot stop from looking at yourself whenever it's recording, hit record, see that it's recording, then turn your phone around instead of seeing, the front facing one, turn it around to where you're just looking at the camera. Okay. That's a trick if you need to focus on the camera. And last one is decent lighting. I've got lights in here that are shining. I'll show you. There you go. So there's one of my lights, but also I have outdoor light coming in. Okay. When you're recording, outdoors is great if you're in the shade. Don't stand in direct sunlight. It looks like you're being beamed up to heaven. Okay. So don't stand in direct sunlight. If you're indoors, you want to obviously have the lights on. I actually don't have my office lights on because those lights are trash. These lights are good enough. And it actually makes the background a little darker. So it looks a little depth of field. And then I've got light coming in from right there. Whenever you go to take a picture or video, a trick is you can hold the phone by the window, like by the light, and have the light from outside shining on your face. That's usually a good technique if you're inside. Don't ever have the window to your back and the phone over here, like the window's over here, phone over here. Don't do that because you're going to be like silhouetted. It's going to look creepy. Okay. So, and I've got a video that actually walks you through this. If you need it, just hit me up. It's on my YouTube channel. It's how to shoot with your iPhone. And then for audio, you want to talk a little bit louder than normal. I'm talking a little bit now, like this is how I normally talk. Whenever I'm talking to somebody, I'm like, hey, what's going on? How are you doing? But it's like by talking in my normal voice, it's like I'm toning down myself. To crank that up, you want to go about 60%. If like this is me normally talking and this is me screaming, I want to go about 60%. So I want to go like, hey, what's up, guys? How are you guys? Just by raising my voice a little bit, it's like I've increased the excitement and I've increased the tone to where it's almost like a little bit more engaging because it feels like I'm talking to you with like I'm excited about what I'm talking about. I'm not just like talking to my wife like, Hey, how are you? Are you having a good day? Cool. Like that's how we talk, because we're not like, hey, how was your day today? Did you have a great day? Like I'm not going to do that. It's weird. But you can tone it up for videos a little bit. Okay. Don't stand in the wind. That's terrible. What else? Think about what you want to talk about before you start. Oh, a little trick that I use. I don't think I have any Post-its in here. This isn't a Post-it, but I'll take a Post-it. I'll write my bullet points down and I'll stick that over like where I would see my face on my camera. And then I can hit record. Then I'm blocking out myself, so I'm not tempted to make sure that I don't have a booger or anything. I'm looking at the camera, and then now I'm self-conscious. Then it also like gives me bullet points so I can glance over and see about what the next thing. You don't want to start recording and be like, so today we're going to do this in clapping to the bell ringer, and then we're going to, I guess we'll roll into the lesson, and then we'll go do this, okay, etc. All right, sweet. So excellent. We're going to roll back into the funnel. I know it said here. Oh, I put the video in here. Here's the video for iPhone tips. It's on slide 33 in your presentation. Okay. So let's look back at the funnel. So we just talked a lot about the content itself. Okay. When you're creating the content, that's what you want to do. Now, second thing is you have your subscriptions and your follows. That is, I'm sorry. Somebody just came to the door. We're going to take a 2-minute break so I can answer the door. And then we'll come right back. So I say 5 minutes. We're gonna do a 2-minute break. 1 second. I gotta check the door. Somebody's here, and my dog's losing her mind. 1 second. What up? Welcome back. Hey, Tyler here. How are you doing? How you feeling? In the chat, let's do emoji check. And how are you feeling right now? Have you learned? Oh no. To this point, what is something that you are going to try in your classroom or implement that you might not have wanted to, an hour or two ago? What is something you're wanting to implement in your classroom? Put that in the chat right now. I'd love to see it. I know the other people in the chat would love to see it. I know it'd be some great input. So throw that in the chat and then you can also copy paste and put in your notes, just so you don't forget. Make sure everything you're doing, you're keeping notes of. Keep links to it, all of it, because I want you guys to be able to access and actually make your classroom better. I've sat through enough PDs in my life, professional development in my life, that I don't remember one thing from. I pray that you walk through this. I am hoping that you get something out of this training that you can take and use, once a day, once a week, once a year, once a decade, something that you use and implement, whether it's a mindset or a skill set or just any type of framework to build your classroom and make things better. Okay? Speaking of making things better, making ourselves better, I do want to give you, some thoughts on something that I offer, a community that we have at Tarver Academy that I think could add you a ton of value. It could help you get better all year. Because right now we're getting better with PD, with professional development. Hopefully you're getting better right now. This summer you're going to hopefully glean some information, some knowledge, some experience, and you're going to get a little bit better. I want us to get better all year. I want us to get better all throughout the year. And here's the thing with teachers. We do not have time to go sit through a 6-hour professional development once a week. So what I did was I created a community called Tarver Academy. And it was based on teachers telling me they wanted resources. They wanted a continuation of these trainings, of templates, of resources. They wanted to be handed to them, because if you go out and search for it, you're gonna find random stuff. They wanted stuff that could be applied to their classroom, that they can sit there, bite-sized professional development for busy teachers. That's Tarver Academy on a roll. And I would love for you to join if you want to. If you don't have to, don't pay for it. It's not very expensive at all, but I don't want you to have to pay for it. I would rather you use your district's professional development money. So if you want, have them go in, order that for you. Hey, here's the deal. Okay, let me be real with you. So you are signed up for the premium summer PD. Okay, either you signed up for it yourself, your principal, your administrator signed you up for it, or your district or your co-op. There were some amazing co-ops, districts that jumped in and realized that this could add value and flexibility, because they're offering 3 different sessions throughout the summer. You have flexibility to watch from home, or maybe you're watching with a group, maybe you're watching in your classroom, wherever you're watching from. They wanted you to add that value, and I wanted to give you a huge discount on the Tarver Academy Honor Roll. This is just for this summer, and it's just for the people that are on the premium watches, okay? And so the premium watches, the premium PD, okay? And so if you're watching this, you're here, you're on it, okay? So what you can do is you can sign up at tarveracademy.com/honor roll, and I want you to use this promo code. When you sign up, use this promo code, it's gonna cut in half. And it's one time for the full year, and it's gonna cut in half. Remember, use your district money if you can. So just write the promo code down or put it in there and then get reimbursed, whatever you need to do. The promo code is premium because you've signed up for the premium summer PD, and so I want to give you half off. So what that is essentially you or your district or your co-op or your building paid for the summer PD, and so what it is you get half off for these honor roll resources that come to you every week for the entire year. They essentially, it paid for more than, it paid for half of this just because they signed you up for it or you signed up for it. So it's actually a better deal than if you just like straight up bought it. But you'll get access to these trainings anytime you want throughout the entire year, plus anything new. I'm gonna send you something every single week to help make you better in your classroom, because when you get better, your students get better. In the email, every week, you're gonna get either a template, a resource, you're gonna get a short PD video, professional development, a training to show you how to do something you might not know how to do, or reinforce something you're maybe already trying. You're gonna get something that makes you better every week, plus some quick tips, links to some other things, and also you can ask me questions. I have a mailbag where you get to ask questions, and that's the list I'm gonna pick from first. I wanna help you guys. If I don't know how to do it, I'll do the research for you. I'll build, you're like, oh, I really wish I had a digital interactive notebook. Guess what I'll do? I'll go in and I'll build digital interactive notebooks, and I'll give you the template. You don't have to pay teachers. You don't have to go in and throw the money at anything. I wanna just hand it to you, and I wanna do trainings for you to help you. So if you wanna join that community, I think it's super helpful, and it's essentially where I become the tech facilitator for you. It's Netflix for teacher resources, and I would love for you to join and jump on that. So if you want, go there. It's tarveracademy.com/honor-roll, and you can sign up for that. And I think it's just going to be a huge. It's going to be a huge help to teachers throughout the year who have a lot going on and not a lot of time, extra time to go out and do it. It's like as teachers, they always give you more stuff to do, but they don't give you like, oh, here's like an extra 3 hours a day to go out and do whatever it is you're going to do. So if you want to sign up for that, you can. I hope you've used this time also to use the restroom. So if you're just getting back using the restroom, guess what? We've just been talking about Tarver Academy Honor Roll. No big deal. But I want to give you guys time to go do that and get a snack if you need it. Whatever you need to do, we're about to kick back into it. We're about to jump back in it. We're going to fall into the gap. Man, do y'all remember that? That was a good campaign. That was memorable. Wasn't it? Memorable? Yeah, sure. Okay, so we're about to get started. We'll get started here very soon, and we're gonna jump back in. We're gonna keep learning. All right, let's do it. Let's go. We're still doing this. In the chat, here we go. In the chat, I want you to tell me the name. Okay, don't say that. I was gonna say, tell me the name of, you know what? You can do that. Tell me the name of a teacher who made an impact on you and what they did. Why did they have an impact on you? In the chat, what name of a teacher or an educator that had an impact on you and what they did to have an impact. It was either the way they treated you, the way they ran their class, or the way they inspired you, or just the way they had structure maybe. They were reliable, they were consistent. I would love to hear in the chat, name of a teacher that motivated you as a student or as another teacher and what they did. So let's throw that in the chat, and we're about to get started. We're gonna jump back into it. We're about to get started. We're gonna jump back into it like a pogo stick. See that? See what I did there? Nope. Okay. All right. Let's get going. What up? Welcome back. So excited. Okay. Back in here. Apologize for that. All right. So let me first off say thank you. Sorry about that. It was longer 2 minutes. I thought I was just going to talk to the dude, but he was delivering groceries. My wife had groceries delivered. So I'm out of breath because I've been carrying in 18 bags of stuff. All right. So that answers that question about where I was. I was answering the door. Thanks, Amanda. This was a great timing. I appreciate you getting that delivered. Okay. So now we are back in it. So let's talk about our funnel. So I'm going to show you some examples of the funnel. And at the end, I'm going to show you. So this is what I'm thinking for our last, got about 40 minutes left, 40, 50 minutes left. So here's what I'm thinking. Okay. So in your mind, be thinking about these things. If there's something in these areas you want to talk about, I want to show you the ecosystem and give you some thoughts. We've talked a lot about the content because it's the biggest one. That's where you're going to create the most stuff. You're constantly going to be creating content to put out on TikTok and Instagram and YouTube. You're putting that out there because that's the top of your funnel. That's the biggest chance for it to go out and get attention to help move things into the next part. Then we're going to talk about the free subscription and follows. I'm going to show you kind of an email list, stuff like that. Then I'll show you some single purchase ideas. And then we'll talk about the subscription services. Okay. After that, so I'm going to talk about the rest of the funnel, show you some things. Then I want to show you where one of the best tools I use to create little things across all of these. And then the third thing is I want to actually go in, if we have time, and review a couple, like it can be an account, like either a TikTok account or an Instagram account or YouTube account. I'd love to review some with you. Preferably, I would love to review some of y'all's if you're comfortable with that. So be thinking if you're willing to let me look at your account and give you some ideas and thoughts on that. I would love to do that with as much time as we have left. Okay. So Alicia said that her dogs thought there was another dog in the house because they could hear my dog losing her mind at the grocery delivery guy. Okay. So we talked about free content. That's putting it everywhere. As far as free subscriptions and follows pretty self-explanatory. Those are people that are following you on TikTok or Instagram or one of these other platforms. Now, whenever you, I've used MailChimp. Has anybody used MailChimp before? I've used MailChimp. I use it for years. It's got a good amount for like a free service, but recently I have been using Squarespace for the past, I guess, 5 or 6 years. I've been using it as my website. Okay. I've used a ton of different websites, WordPresses, the free ones, the paid ones, all that stuff. I started using Squarespace 5, 6, 7 years ago. And I love it as far as ease of use as a website. And what I've started doing over the past year is I've tried to keep everything in one area, in one location. And Squarespace, actually, I'm saying all this, I don't work for Squarespace. I get $0 if you use Squarespace. So don't think I'm pitching you Squarespace. I'm just telling you what I found as a creator has been the most helpful for me to make a hub for some of these things I'm about to show you. So they actually have, and if I go into marketing, you're gonna be able to see it in my email campaigns. So you can see, this is gonna be very exposing for me. So here we go. So what I've got is these are my email campaigns. I can create email lists and send out emails through Squarespace. Okay. So I paid Squarespace, I don't know, whatever it was, like $100-something a year to use their website, to make my website. Now you can add on features that you pay one time for the year and you use built into that. So it was easy. I was making these blog posts for my website, and they have a really easy way to convert a blog post into an email. Just convert it over and then you edit some of the stuff and then you can shoot it out. So I'm able to go in, I'll show you. So I can take, so I posted about my trainings. So if I go into my pages, loading up, here we go. Okay, so let's see. So I can go in and again, it's all for me. It's all about being efficient with creating the resources and getting it out to people. Email lists are a great way to build up a place where you can directly contact your audience. So the two best on this one, look at this. The two best here in that red zone are email lists and text, because yes, they can follow you and they can subscribe to you or whatever, but that doesn't guarantee they see it. You guys, hopefully you hit that red subscribe button on my YouTube channel. Here's the deal. There's a chance you may never see one video I post whenever you sign into YouTube, because YouTube trusts their algorithm more than they trust you actually choosing for yourself. TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, how many times are there people you follow on Instagram that post every day and you never see one of their posts? It's because the algorithm has pulled them away from you. Text groups like Community or Remind, and then these email lists are a great way to connect with your audience directly. So here, I made this post as a blog post. I was talking about the trainings we have coming up, and I'm talking about this week's trainings. By the way, we got a digital educator conference tomorrow and the next day if you want. I'll let you boy. Then talk about, like, I pitched some of this stuff. So again, this is my email. Like, I mean, this is the post, but then I'm just going to convert it to an email. So I can just go to edit. And then I can roll over to share. And if I click create email draft, it's going to send this draft over to that email thing we were just on. And then I can shoot this email out to anybody on my email list that I want. Okay. Now, here's the deal. Where does this email, I'm doing these trainings. They're all under free content, these free trainings. But people that are on my email list, I can send this directly and I can remind them, hey guys, we're doing these trainings. I also send a text Monday morning at 9 saying, hey, we're doing these trainings this week if you want to join us. That's pushing people here. Now, what I want to do is I can funnel people from there into my single purchases. So on here, I didn't do it, but I could have posted, I think I have it in here. Let me see. Nope, maybe I have it on this one. I want to push people to either buy my book, Baller Teacher Playbook. What's up? Holla at your boy. So let me see if I put my book on here. I don't think I did actually. Nope, I didn't. But I can put my book on these and tag it at the end. Hey, if you want my book, boom, go for it. Or I could have pushed, because I have these free trainings and I'm also doing, and this is not a pitch for me. You're already here. So what am I pitching? But I can also have a shop on my Squarespace to sell that level. So it's like free stuff, put on TikToks and YouTube videos and all this stuff. It's free if they find it, whatever. I can email them directly. Hey, this might apply to you. You might like this. I can send it to them so there's a better chance of them seeing it. Then that would get people from there, from the free email and the free trainings, I can push people into a single purchase. If you see my other trainings, there's 2 breaks. One of the breaks is like 5 minutes, and it's me talking about my book and how they can purchase it if they want. The other break is talking about my honor roll, which we're going to talk about in a second. Those are 2 different things. One is a single time purchase and one is a subscription. I'm talking about both of those during the breaks of a free training I'm offering to teachers. Okay. So if people see this, they can be like, oh, wow, I really like these free trainings. I would like to get these trainings. In the free stuff, I'm adding people value. Like you could sit through, that's 15 hours worth of videos this week. They could watch for free. I feel like that's a pretty decent free thing to offer them. But then I'm like, hey, if you want access to more, you can sign up for all of our premium stuff this summer. And so somebody could click here and pay $38 to see all of those other trainings we're doing this week as well. Now, I don't think you guys should do this. Don't buy my premium training, because most likely, I think from the names I saw, a lot of you guys are from co-ops or districts that I worked with that actually bought all the premium live trainings for you June, July, and August. Okay. So I'm not even pushing to this. You know why? Because why would I want to push people to the yellow whenever I can get people to join in the green? Your ultimate, what you want to do is put people into this subscription. Like you can count on it every year, because that's something you can build a business plan off of. Say I go out and I sell 300 books in a week. And I'm like, this is awesome. I'm not going to quit my job to live off my book sales, because the next week I could sell 3. But if you get people signed in to a monthly or yearly subscription, that's something you can lean on and factor in a business model and a business plan. In the chat, I would love for you to tell me, what is one like either content provider or person or company that you pay either monthly or yearly for their products or their email list or their videos or whatever? Is there anything that you pay? And I'm not talking about like Hulu counts. I mean, I guess you could say Hulu or Netflix, but if that's all you got, say Hulu or Netflix or Disney Plus. But if you pay like a creator or a website or a company monthly or yearly to be able to access their stuff, I would love to know in the chat. Throw that in the chat. Okay. So from my free content and my subscriptions, I'm going to push these products. Hey, you can buy my book. If you check this out, you can buy my book. Check this out. You can sign up for this. You can get this. You're going to funnel that into the next one. And then this spot right here, this is really where you want to be. This is where you kind of want to land when it comes to anybody signing up for stuff. If they're giving you money, your preference should always be that they subscribe to it, because ideally you keep them for years, because you provide so much free and paid value that they want to be a part of it forever. Does that make sense? Okay. If not, throw the questions in. Okay. So, sorry, looking, make sure we're still rolling. So whenever, like for instance, remember in the chat, I'm still curious to know, what is something, a service or a subscription that you pay yearly or monthly throughout the year? Okay. Now I want to talk about this last section. Okay. We're going to spend a little bit of time here. Single product, single purchases. That's cool, but I want to lean into the subscriptions because ideally, if you're creating content on the internet, you're essentially wanting to get paid out of it or get some financial. And here's the deal. And I said this in a training I did, I guess it was last week. A lot of people want to push negativity on teachers or educators or whoever that are asking you to pay for something. Like the whole website, Teachers Pay Teachers, which Teachers Pay Teachers falls into a single purchase category, by the way. The whole process of somebody putting something for sale on the internet, they spent time there. I saw it was a TikToker. She made a resource and she was offering it to people for free. She offers a bunch of free resources, but then she said, hey, for $1.50, you can buy this thing that I made. And people were like, kind of like, a couple people were like, made some comments about, some people made some comments about like, oh, I'm not going to, why would I pay for that? First off, it's $1.50. Chill, okay? And you don't have to buy it. Like she's saying, here's a product, here's something I made if you want to pay for it. Now, here's the deal. We want to throw a fit because, you can get stuff for free on the internet. But here's the deal. You don't walk up to Starbucks and they're like, okay, that's going to be $3 for a coffee. And you're like, oh, no, like, I don't want to pay for that. I want it for free. Like whenever you want something, it's like we get upset on the internet to pay for something. Like if you want to upgrade an app and pay $2, but then we'll blow like $1,000 on a new grill. Like that, not teeth grill. I mean, you might buy it on a grill, but like you might do it for like a grill to cook on because you see that value there as opposed to something. But here's the deal. When you talk about your job and the resources and the time that it takes you to do a good job at your work, which pays for everything else, why would you not invest in educators who are trying to add you value and resources and trainings? In the chat, have you ever bought anything on Teachers Pay Teachers? I would love to know in the chat, have you ever purchased anything from Teachers Pay Teachers? Okay. As you're saying that, I want to show you a graph. I have to pull it up because it's on my iPad and I'm going to put it on there. Let's see. I'm going to drop it in here. I'm going to airdrop it to myself. And then I'm going to put it in my slideshow. Okay. I want you to see this. This is the graph of how creators make money. Okay. Missy, you've spent a ton on Teachers Pay Teachers. In the chat, let me know what do you guys buy on Teachers Pay Teachers? Are you buying templates? Are you buying videos? What are you buying on there? I would love to know. I'm curious to know what is worth you putting your hard-earned money to someone else for. Throw it in the chat. I want to see it. I want to see that. I'm about to add a slide real quick. 1 second. I've got to add this in here. All right. In the chat, telling me what you're putting. What will you pay money for on Teachers Pay Teachers? Let me see. So I'm trying to pull up this. I want to show you this graph. Let me show them the graph, man. Come on, computer. Let me show them the graph. People want to see the graph. Nobody asked to see it. Oh, here it is. Okay, dropping it in. 1 sec. Come on, load up. Okay, so you guys are buying units for your content. You're buying it to save time. You're buying items that supplement the curriculum. Awesome. Here's the thing. You're purchasing something that helps make you do your job better, correct? Either saves you time or it's enhancing it so you can teach better. Marlene, pre-designed door decor. I like that. Marlene said activities that are already created, anything self-grading, engaging. So it's creating, so you're saving time because you don't have to create it, but it's also saving you time in grading. How many hours do you get back from buying that? Engaging activities that your students will think are cool. Absolutely. Okay. So a lot of this stuff is available for free on the internet, but then also a lot of it can be purchased. So if you're creating content, you got to think, what do I want to give out to people for free? And then what do I want them to actually pay for? Okay. So here are the 4 sources of creator income. This is not just for educators. This is for anybody. Okay. Okay. So the smallest one is AdSense. Do you guys, if you want, I can show you my YouTube. I can let you see some of the AdSense on there, but it's up to you. It's very exposing for me, but you know what? I don't care. I'll show you whatever. If you guys care about that, I'll show you. But AdSense, it can be great. And there are people that make hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars a year from AdSense, but you cannot rely on AdSense. So my friend Rick, he's got a YouTube channel and he's making thousands of dollars a month from AdSense. And I'm talking to him. I'm like, dude, that is the smallest piece of the pie. And it might be your biggest source of income there. But the problem is it's unreliable because your AdSense relies on that YouTube or Instagram or TikTok. It relies on them and their algorithm pushing it. It is not reliable. How would you go in and do your job if every day you got paid based on the amount of students that showed up by choice to your classroom? No, like you'd go because you know it's consistently coming into your paycheck. Okay, so AdSense is important and it's a great revenue source. AdSense, oh, sorry, I didn't explain what AdSense is. Whenever you watch a YouTube video, if you go to YouTube and you click on a video, that first 5 seconds where it's like a company saying, do you ever get tired of doing your taxes? We'll do your taxes for you. And then a little thing that pops up and it says skip ad or, whatever, and you can skip the ad. That is AdSense. So when those ads pop up on a video, those people that made that video get the chance to make money off of them, and Google make money off of those ads. That is AdSense. Then you've got brand deals. So I've partnered with a couple education companies. There's a couple LMSs, and I always say hey, this is a brand deal. So they're paying me to talk about this. But what they'll do is they might pay me, $1,000 or I don't know, whatever. I just made up a number. They didn't pay me $1,000. They might pay me $1,000 to go on and do a live stream and talk about how this, and this can incorporate into a classroom and then pitch their LMS at the very end. It's like, hey, if you want to use Google, you can do this, and this, and it's super helpful for this. Also, a couple options. You can do this, or try this company. They sponsored this video. Have y'all ever watched a video where somebody said, hey, today's video is sponsored by Squarespace or sponsored by, Audible? They're sponsoring that video. So they're paying that creator money to post a video where they talk about them. I'm trying to think if I've done any paid ones on TikTok for a TikTok. I think I did. Yeah. There was a company that gave me some money because I talked about them and talked about their company. And I genuinely used their company and think it's great. And so it works out. The best partnerships with brand deals are brands that you already use or you see value in. And so you're being honest. You're not lying to people to pitch, perfume or whatever it is. Next is merch. In the chat, have you ever bought merch from somebody on the internet, like a creator? Does anybody own merch from a creator on the internet? I'd love to know in the chat. So merch is like, hey, I got a shirt or I've got a hat or I've got, whatever it is that you can buy to show that you're a part of this. The merch sales come when the community is strong. When you have people that identify, a lot of YouTube creators will be like, hey, welcome to the Tyler Nation. This is Tyler Nation. We're going to all subscribe to Tyler and blah, blah, blah. Show your Tyler Nation with, I get a pizza with hands. And that's our mascot. I don't know, whatever. That was a terrible example. That's merch. So you can make money on merch sales as well. This merch, however, is in the yellow. It's a single purchase. The one that you want, because brand deals are great. You can set up, hey, I'm going to partner with Samsung and they're going to pay me $5,000 a month to make 5 videos a month. And I'm going to talk about them and show their products in the process of, adding value to my audience. Okay. So you can still provide free videos for your audience. They're going to pay you so that you can focus on making videos. This is great because it allows creators to have the finances to be able to make more for their audience. Okay. However, that company after a year or whenever that contract's up can be like, you know what? I think we're good. We're done. Thank you so much for your time. We don't need another brand deal. Subscriptions. This is one of the cool things about the internet now. This is what we talked about. This is the bottom of the funnel. Okay. You want to provide something that is so valuable to people that they will pay money either monthly or yearly so that they can get access to whatever it is. One of the most popular ones of this is Patreon. Is anybody in the chat? I would love to know, have you ever even heard of Patreon? In the chat. Have you heard of Patreon? And if you have, do you pay anybody? Do you pay any Patreon? Are you a Patreon subscriber to anybody? Okay. So I'm going to show you what Patreon is so that it can maybe, oh, where did it go? I just typed it in. Nope, don't want to go there. Let's go to patreon.com. So this is a common one. So I'm putting myself in your mind. Okay, so you're creating social. You're making stuff on TikTok. Oh, what's up? There you go. You can see my home. I got 65. And so I make $355 a month from 65 people that choose to do this. Now, let's say I want to go to my page. Goodness gracious, I didn't mean to go here. So what you can do with Patreon is people can pay to essentially subscribe to some content you have. So, and this is not a pitch. I don't think you guys, I'm not asking you to subscribe to my Patreon. That's not what I'm doing at all. I'm using it as an example because I can show you. 65 people choose to either pay $3 a month, $7 a month, or they can pay I think it's like $70 a year to get the stuff that I put on here. Now, again, I'm not asking you to do it. I'm just showing you because I can't sign into anyone else's Patreon. All right. Okay. Ooh, so Marlene, I would love to, in the chat, tell us more about this. You said you heard of it because a friend of it uses it for photography. How do they use it? What do they offer people for that? So the idea with Patreon is you essentially can set up a subscribe. It's just like Disney Plus or Netflix or something like that, but it can be with something like directly from a creator. So like, for instance, I make thousands of resources and tutorials and trainings for educators. Okay. Now, if someone wants I think mine, you get access to the walkthrough. So you can see how I created that resource. Does somebody that wants the resource, can they still get it? Absolutely. Go make a template. It's yours. However, if you want to learn how to make your own, or you want to hear me do a full explanation of how I would implement that in my classroom, they can be a Patreon member. So for $3 a month, they can go in and they can see the behind the scenes or how to apply that. The $7 one gets access to all that. Plus I do weekly Google video trainings throughout the year. And so it's they want to lean into Google. They want to learn more. Boom. You can lean in for $7 a month and get these trainings. And then also I answer questions. So it's a lot of times people on their Patreon offer access. So I gave access to my Patreon members for them to be able to view all my premium summer PD. They could have bought it on my website. You guys, we talked about it earlier, but I also give them access to where they get benefits of that as well. So I'm creating the content and then I can make it, you can pay whatever, $38 to get all of it here, or you can get on my subscription. Which one would I rather have? Obviously subscription. When you're pushing things that are one-time purchases versus subscriptions, you're always going to need to push, you're always going to want to push subscriptions. So Patreon, if you're creating content, it's a fantastic avenue for you to go in and create content where people can subscribe and get that content over a long period of time. Okay. So Patreon's a good option. It looks like a couple people are in there. Tell me, what does that, so Retro Rick, I'll go to my buddy. Let me see if I can find his. Retro Rick. Okay. He's not an educator unless he educates people on gaming stuff. But he has a really successful Patreon. He makes YouTube videos for free where people can go and they can watch and all this. But he's got 892 people that pay him $3 a month so they can have access. One, he does giveaways. Two, he does 20% off of his thrift store thing he has on Instagram. He also does videos that only they get access to. So it's if you love his videos, okay, here's this. How many of you would pay if you watch in the chat? Tell me your favorite show that you watch. Tell me your favorite TV show that you watch. Let's say you love The Office. The Office comes on TV once a week, every week. How many of you would pay $3 a month to, after the show, you could go watch an hour worth of Steve Carell, John Krasinski, and Jenna Fisher on a podcast where they're talking about all of the things that went into that episode and all the things they like, and even maybe some deleted scenes. A lot of creators will have this behind the scenes and more it's an extension of what they're doing. Cody Co does this. I have a friend, Knox, he does this. They do really well with the podcast. So it's you can add these either access or more content through these things. And so that's an idea for doing a Patreon. Now, I'm going to show you, I'll show you an example of mine. So I have a Patreon, but that's not like, if you click on my stuff where it's like, oh, I want to learn more, that thing I talked about, Netflix for teachers. So, oh my goodness. Courtney said Yellowstone. I watched Yellowstone. It was like, I got into it like a few months ago. It's very, I'm ready for the next season. I'm just going to say that. So for instance, so mine, I'm going to show you mine. And again, it's all about me. I'm just talking about this because I can't speak for anybody else. I can only talk for myself. So I'm going to give you my thought process as I created my subscription, like lean in, like somebody would want to pay for this value. As you think of yours, think, what am I going to give out for free? And then what can I do to put somebody into a subscription base? Now, here's the deal. This doesn't have to be just for you as somebody who's making resources and creating and doing things on social media. It could be for your school. Like, I know there are some colleges that have a Patreon. It's like, we've been doing it for years. Oh, we look for donors. You want to donate to our college? Here, you can do like a monthly or yearly like donation process for your college and offer nothing extra. And it's just like, no, we want to support the college, so you can go in and do that. There are a lot of Patreons that don't offer anything extra. They just are people supporting that creator so that creator can spend more time making free resources. You could do this for your school, for yourself, for whatever social you're creating. Okay. So I'm going to show you mine that I have. It's called the Honor Roll. So if somebody signs up for the Tarver Academy Honor Roll, I'm going to show you an example of what they would get. They get access to like essentially like a room or a website that other people don't have access to. Okay. So in my mind, if I'm ever going to like not have to spend time shooting weddings for extra money or doing different things, I want to get people into my honor roll. And I always encourage teachers, get your district to pay for it. And the reason I do it as a yearly instead of monthly is because I know educators, and I know that if you showed this to your principal or your superintendent or director of curriculum instruction or whatever PD person, they're going to be like, that's a lot of value for that small amount. And so you pick an amount of money, and then somebody would get to go in and they get access to all your trainings. So like they get all these calendars, 6 hours a day of training. They get access to all the trainings afterwards. So they could click on it and they could go watch a video on 3 hours of Google Classroom for intermediate. So like you guys are watching this live. After this ends, I'm going to take it off of live and I'm going to make it like a private video. Then I'm going to link it through here so that people in my honor roll can watch it. So if you watch my videos and you see one of the breaks where I'm pitching the honor roll, if somebody wanted to learn, they could go in and learn anytime during the year with these trainings. So it's like I'm offering it free while it happens. But if you want access afterwards, you go here. Who does this? The Ringer. Has anybody heard of the Ringer podcast network? There are a lot of podcasts that do this. Spotify wants people, like they bought the Ringer, they bought Joe Rogan, they've bought several podcasts. And what that means is they offer the podcast everywhere. You can listen on Apple, on Spotify, wherever. But then after 30 days, if you want to listen to it, you've got to go over here and do it. You've got to pay to do it. You've got to go to Spotify to do it. They're trying to funnel people in there from the free stuff, which happens for 30 days, and funnel them into more content that they've already created. So they're trying to add that value outside of it. Provide free, but then do it. Because if you only did paid, nobody's going to find it because there's nothing that leads people into it. Okay, so the idea is these roll live. You can catch them live for free, or you can catch them live through whatever. Then if you want access to them at any time, boom, you go into the honor roll. Also, during the school year, so like September to May, I do weekly templates, resources, walkthroughs. And so like that email you saw earlier, I do that also for the honor roll email list. Okay. And you're thinking, well, why would you do that? Because it goes out to less people. Well, these people paid to get this. So I want to make a better product for them so that they feel like their purchase was worth it. And so it's like I would give a meme, throw in this template. I know I talked through this last time, but I wanted to throw it through this one. You got, they go in, I'm walking them through this template. It's a teacher classroom app, so they can have the template and make a copy, which I also give out for free. But then if they want to learn how to do it, boom, I've got walkthroughs. I do quick tips, mailbag, answer questions, access. A lot of times social media people will run the access side of this. And so this email goes out once a week during the year. So that's the idea, is that you can offer somebody that is service that is so encompassing, which really like this has pieces of PDs, of trainings, of templates. Everything I do for education funnels back into this for this group. Then they can submit what they want me to create. So you have access, and then they have walkthroughs of all of these resources. So like say I love the free templates, Tyler. Oh, I love the template on digital notebook or whatever that anybody can have, but you don't know how to implement it. Then this would add value to them outside of it. So it's like you want to figure out on this funnel, you're always trying to figure out, what do I want to give? What do I feel comfortable giving out for free? And then what do I want people to pay for? So for instance, so if you go, let me see. So on my Instagram, you go to, I'm showing you the difference. So if you go to my Instagram account, and then you click the link in my bio for Instagram. So right here, this is a website anybody can get to. This is not an honor roll. This is free to anybody. It goes here. I've got email and text. This right here, and this is the red part of the funnel. So this website, the link in my bio is free. You don't have to subscribe. You don't do anything to be able to get all these resources. That is the blue part. Next, all this right here, this represents that next line. I want them to subscribe, sign up for the email list, blah, blah, blah. That is the next level. Then get the book. That's a purchase. That's the next level, a one-time purchase. Then this is subscription, the honor roll. But then you want to add, like, those are just two little links. But then I've got all these templates. If I wanted to, there are tons of templates that are not as good as these that are on Teachers Pay Teachers for money. I'm sorry, let me take my banner off. I feel like I'm giving an ad for my honor roll. I'm sorry. It feels weird. I'm taking that off. So somebody could go in here and they could be like, hey, I want this quote of the day template, which you could sell. Oh, I'm going to put that for $50. You have to choose as a creator, where do I want to put this in the realm of what's free or not? Some people might put this in there. I want them to pay for this. This took me, 180 hours to create. I want them to, pay for this product. Or you can offer it for free and hope that they funnel into the buy the book, or they funnel into the subscription that goes in more. So as you're writing this out, what I would recommend, take that funnel and start writing in those boxes, like screenshot it or print it off or draw it and write in those boxes, and those, I guess they're trapezoids, write in those trapezoids, what do you want to add and where? You might want to start creating templates or trainings or whatever, and you might not feel comfortable putting in the free because it took you so much work. So what you can do is you can put that in the paid one. But then what you do is you always have to figure out what goes into the top part of my funnel if that is there, because nobody's going to subscribe to you if all you do is push paid stuff nonstop. So somebody could go in, they could go to my website or my link in my bio, they can make a copy. Then they have quote of the day videos and documents and interactive notebooks for their students. I would want this to funnel into the rest of it. So on the first page, which they can delete, it's got links to my free stuff. It's got links to the paid stuff. So as you're creating all of these resources, think through what do my trapezoids, it's not a trapezoid, it's got more sides. What is that? Whatever. What do my levels have? What do I want for free? What do I want for paid? All that. And here's the deal. For 10 years, all I had was free. Nothing I offered anybody was paid unless somebody paid me to come speak to their school. That was the only thing. And that wasn't even until the last 5 years. I spoke, probably, 40, 50, 60 times at conferences and districts for 7 years without ever getting paid. And then it starts leading into it. No, in this process, don't create an account or don't start making stuff and think, oh, well, I made 10 things. When do I start getting paid? I made stuff for 6 to 10 years before I ever got $1 out of anything that I did. Okay. And I still don't by no means make a ton of money. It's just nice side stuff so that I don't have to shoot weddings anymore. I'm so sick of shooting weddings. If I shot your wedding, I bet it was beautiful and I loved working with you, but it is so time consuming. And it's like I spent 8 years editing 80 something weddings. This is a supplement, so I don't have to do that. So as you're creating what is free, then what can start leading in to your other levels of the content ecosystem. Okay, I want to show you one thing on Canva, and then I'd like to review at least one creator. So if you have an account that you would like for me to look at and give you thoughts on, we're going to do that, and that's the last thing we're going to do. So if you're comfortable with it, tell me your account, either say it's on Instagram or TikTok or your website. Put that on here if you feel comfortable with me reviewing it. The last thing the last tip before that I want to show you, and again, I talk about Canva. Again, I don't work for Canva. But if I could recommend one thing, goodness gracious, Canva's one of the top things I'd recommend, okay? So when you're creating these things, when you're creating a YouTube channel or a Twitter feed or whatever, Canva helps you do the graphics to help set up your page to look more legit. So for instance, let's say, let me show you what YouTube cover art. So when you're creating your YouTube channel for your school, for your class, or for yourself, this right here, this is your channel. This is what it looks like. So you can go here. That's your profile picture. We know what those are. This right here is called your cover art. This is like a banner, a billboard for your content. They have templates built to all the dimensions of everything that goes on social media. So I could say YouTube cover art, or they call it, sorry, YouTube channel art. I click this. It's going to give me different templates that I can roll with. Nobody feel comfortable with me reviewing their stuff? Come on, throw out a channel. If not, throw out a channel you'd like for me to review. Anybody that you want, any educator or creator, throw it out there. I'll review, and I'll be nice. Just because it's not you volunteering, I'll be nice even if it's you. So these are all built to the dimensions. I could go in and click on one of these. It makes a copy of it. Then I can go in and change it to tailor around what I want to market on my YouTube channel. So I can go in, say you're a music teacher. Well, that's convenient. So I could change this to, Mr. Tarver's music. I know there's an apostrophe there. I just missed it. Music class. Okay. Boom. You could do that. You could say, look at this. They even know new videos every Sunday and Friday. Be clear with your audience and be consistent. New video every day at 7 p.m. I would probably say Central Time. Boom. I could put this as my header on my YouTube, and anybody that goes to my YouTube channel could go in and do this. Let's see. So Amanda said, would that work for Google Classroom? Yes, it would. I actually did this. I think there's a couple sessions where I walk through how to create these for Google Classroom. You can do the same thing. Google Classroom, and it's going to pop up header. You can go in, pick one, make a copy, and you can do it. So there you go. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. And you can pick it out. You can say, oh, I want this to be my classroom header. And then you can change the title. You can put it up there. I'll show you a couple that I made. So I've got some for classroom, I think. I know I've got them on my burner account, but I don't know if I got them here. Okay, here's one I made. Boom. This is one of my favorite ones we made. I made this in a live stream for my honor roll. So there you go. You can actually do it with video. I've got myself and Ariana Grande chilling in my Google Classroom header. So, all right, sweet. Okay, so we're going to review one creator. Toss a creator in the chat that you want me to go review their stuff. Okay, just tell me their name and what platform they're on, and we'll go review it, and we'll look and see. And we're not going to review it to like critique it. We're going to look at like, what does their funnel look like? If not, if you don't say something in the next like few seconds, I'll just pick one. Okay, sweet. So I'm going to go in. Let's find I'm trying to think of a creator I like. What's a good creator? There's a lot of creators I like. What are some creators you guys like? I would like to know that. Okay. I've already used my friend Rick. I'd love to use somebody in education. Ooh, okay. Here's one I genuinely don't know about. So let's look at Pocket Full of Primary. Do you guys know who that is? Pocket Full of Primary. Okay. So this is an educator. I've seen her videos pop up. I don't follow her a lot, but I know she's very popular. She got over 500,000 subs. So maybe she should be teaching y'all, not me. So here's the deal. She's making a bunch of content and videos and stuff to help them. Let's look and see, what does her content funnel look like? Okay. So she's got 4th grade teacher with a pocket full of ideas, and she would want you to subscribe. That would be level 1. Like, watching the video is great. She's going to watch. She doesn't have any channel. Like, I'm surprised she doesn't have any playlists. Like, I would have playlists under here that if I go here, I can maybe find something that I can use. But what we can do is let's click on her most recent video. Am I still teaching next year? Looks like she's moving. Okay. So I'm guessing she's not. She's probably making enough money from YouTube to where she doesn't have to. Okay, so here we go. This is what her funnel looks like. So she offers free resources, a ton of free trainings that people charge money for. Like if I go to your school and do a training, they're probably going to pay me, okay? If you go do a training at a school, they're probably going to pay you, okay? Because you're taking your time. Your time has value. So what is that worth? And here's the thing too, like some people, if you're going to do a training and you're like, oh, I'm going to charge this dollar amount. Let's just make up something. Say you charge $2,000 to go speak at a school for 6 hours, okay? So when you go speak to that school, they might be like, oh, wow, $2,000. That's expensive for 6 hours. They're not paying for 6 hours. They're paying for hundreds of hours worth of years, experience, trainings. Why do people pay consultants so much? It's because they have experience. They have the resources. They have templates. They have the knowledge from hundreds, if not tens of thousands of hours worth of training that they get to funnel your problems for, your specific issues through, and they get to hand you the answer. It's the difference between like handing a geometry critical thinking problem to a kindergartner who doesn't know how to work geometry versus someone who's taught geometry for 10 years. They're going to be able to funnel that through as opposed to somebody who's never approached that situation. Does that make sense? So there you go. Let's see what her funnel looks like. Okay. All right. So she has, and if you're looking at YouTubers, most of the time they put the purchases and extra stuff in the description. So that's why I clicked on the video, most recent video. So she has a Teachers Pay Teachers store. If you click on this, she's going to have stuff that she probably talks about in her videos, and you're going to be able to buy it. She has 45,000 votes. I bet she makes enough from Teachers Pay Teachers to live off of. So she's got free downloads, but then she's also got stuff that she's got labels, trash ball template. Wow, I did trash ball for a full year my first year teaching. I might make that this summer then. So she's got Valentine's, all these different resources that people can pay anywhere from $5 to $6 or free. Free stuff, paid stuff. Should she charge for it? That's up to her. She's the one that spent the time and money creating it. So you've got to see, she's got to decide for herself, is it worth it? And then you decide, is this worth me paying for? So that's how she brings in revenue. So she's got AdSense from people watching her videos. She doesn't make any money if you subscribe at all, but she makes money when you watch. Because if an ad pops up, she makes money off that. She makes money from you going into the Teachers Pay Teachers store, which falls under this yellow single purchase. Then she's got merchandise. So you can go to her Etsy store and you can buy merch. Remember in our little graph, boom, she can sell stuff directly from her store. This money goes directly to her, and you show that you're part of the Pocket Full of Primary community. Next, she's got Amazon favorites. Now, we didn't mention this. We didn't talk about this. But if you're creating for social media, you can go in and you can become an Amazon affiliate. So she can have an Amazon store where she doesn't create, ship, send anything for this stuff, but she picks her favorites. And if you go in and you say, oh, these are cool, you can go in and buy this on Amazon. It does not cost me any more money to just go to Amazon and find it or click through her links, but she makes a percentage of every sale that goes through this. And not only that, say I went in and I found this and I bought this. If I had other items in my cart and I bought those, she's going to get a percent of those sales as well. So this is called Amazon affiliates. And so it's like you could go in, and if you're making content that a lot of people are viewing for free, you could review, hey, I want to review this book, the Baller Teacher Playbook. If you want to buy it, the link is in my bio. If you make that link an Amazon affiliate link, anybody that goes in and buys that book that you've talked about, you will get a percentage of that money, and it will go into your account. Okay, so that one, again, that one is dependent upon people going in and buying it. However, she doesn't have to create it. She doesn't have to spend her time doing it. She spends her time doing it once, and then the videos funnel that into that. So let's see what else. She's got a podcast that's free. I'm assuming Facebook and Pinterest, those are all free things, and her blog. Okay, so she did do a disclaimer. My description includes referral codes that allow me to earn points or credit that can be redeemed for products or subscriptions. You can use my referral code or link, and you're helping support me and my recommendations. Thank you. So that's really cool that she came out and told you that. I don't, honestly, personally, I don't think it's like, oh, that's sneaky. Like, it doesn't charge any extra money to do the Amazon links through here. Okay. But that is hers. So it looks like I don't see any, like, I wonder if she's got a subscription thing on her website, but I don't see any subscription services through here. All I see are the purchases. So I would think that pretty soon she's going to start figuring out a subscription type of service to where she can funnel people into, where she can, like, you can sign up, be a member. Look, she's got a store, merch, speaking. Okay, so she's got a lot of one-off purchases, but I would assume at some point she maybe is going to offer some of this stuff to where you get access to all of her templates and all of her resources. The ones you would normally purchase on Teachers Pay Teachers, you get access to those for free if you sign up for, you know, $100 a year, or $50 a year, or $200 a year, which if you buy a lot of her stuff, that would save you money. And it would be a good purchase for you, especially if your district paid for it. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you all had a good day. I hope you learned something. I hope I showed you something about being a social media creator that maybe you did not know before. I hope you got some processes down that can help you be more efficient when it comes to create. I need to stop having a pocket full of primary there. I hope this added you value so that you could go in and create content for whatever it is you want to create content for. We did it. We did it. We learned something. Did you learn something today? In the chat, I want you to put the thing that you are taking away from today. Put one thing in the chat right now that you have learned or that you have realized or that's reinforced something you think. Put that one, that I like to call this the golden nugget. Put the golden nugget from today in the chat. And that way, if somebody's missed it or they checked in, go ahead and you guys can copy paste what other people put. If there's some advice, you can screenshot it. Get this. I want you to throw in the best thing you learned today. It's like a best of highlight reel for your favorite thing that happened during this training. Toss that in the chat right now so we can share and grow together. Okay, we're about to do the evaluation. Before we do, I want to remind you, if you want access to this entire training at any time throughout the year, not just these live broadcasts, you can join the Tarver Academy Honor. Why'd I do this? Hey guys, Tarver Academy Honor Roll. It's like Netflix for teachers. Netflix for teachers, because you have resources, you have templates, you have PDs, trainings. It's literally like a library of trainings, and then access to ask questions, to request resources that I build and send out to teachers all around the world. So tarveracademy.com/honor roll if you want to join the greatest community on the planet. And I'm not biased at all. I mean, all of us, you're on the honor roll. You want to be on the honor roll? Sick. Let's all be on the honor roll. And I'm a dean, so keep me on the dean's list. Hey, that works. Okay. All right. Now it's time for your evaluation. I'd love to get your thoughts on what you thought for this, but also I'm going to send you a certificate saying that you sat through this training. You put in the time. You wanted to learn. You wanted to grow. You wanted to get better. This is going to be a certificate that I'm going to email to you. What I need you to do is I need you to go to the link on the screen, or hover over the QR code with your phone. Get your phone out, hover over it. It's going to ask you a few questions. If you don't get this, it means that you put your email address in wrong. Make sure, please do not rush this. Type your email address in correctly. Please, I'm begging you, because if not, you're gonna email me, I never got my certificate. It's because your email address is wrong. Type it in, type in your email address correctly, fill it out, fill out your name, make sure you capitalize, make it look good, because it's gonna fill into the certificate from this. So I need you to put this in correctly, please. Okay, go there, we're gonna walk you through it. Go into this, click on the link, or is it, you can't click on the link because it's on a video. Type in the link on your computer or type it in on your phone or whatever device you have. Scan the QR code, fill it out. I'm gonna send you a certificate with a timestamp on it saying what time you ended. You have proof from earlier if you sent in to the other link of what time you started. And then you also got your notes and all the stuff you've learned, your screenshots, all of that to show your administrator or whoever, you know, your spouse, you show your friends, show people on the streets, all the learning that you did. You can frame that certificate. I think we're all getting framed. You get it framed, I'm getting framed. I'm gonna put it up on my shelf. I got too much stuff on my shelf already. So look at this, Lonzo Ball rookie card. If you got any, by the way, you got any basketball cards you wanna sell, hit me up. I've been slightly obsessed with basketball cards, and I apologize for bringing it up. Look at this, I've got, this is all Lonzo Ball. Lonzo Ball, I mean, he's the GOAT. Everybody says it. Who's in the chat? Who is your favorite basketball player of all time? I'd love to know. If it's Lonzo Ball, it's quite the coincidence because I had it sitting on my desk. If not, it's probably this guy. Probably this guy right here. See that guy? That's Michael Jordan. No big deal. It's whatever. Don't like to brag about it. I mean, it's not that expensive, that card. But if you got any cards you want to sell, holler at me. I don't know why I said that. I'm just stalling so you guys can fill out your evaluation. All right, y'all feel good? I'm gonna leave this on the screen for you for a little while in case you had to step out for a second. I'm gonna leave this up. Thank you again so much for your attention and your time and everything that you put into learning and growing with us today. I'm Tyler, this is Tarver Academy. Let's learn and have fun. See you guys later.